The sacred silency, I never let you see. All right. You know what that sound means? That sound means it's another great time for the Thursday Night Throwdown, the NBA Draft Edition. If you know me, I am so geeked for this draft. I gave you a couple major winners probably about a month ago. I'm going to be so stoked when they come through. I've hit those pretty nicely. Just in case for those you don't know, I called Jalen Green as second pick at minus 125 about a month and a half ago. He is currently the second pick at minus 1,400. So that should come through. So that's a very good chance to go. We've got the USA Qatar setting up right now. We're rocking and rolling. I've been on TikTok. My TikTok play of the day is I think this Qatar team can score. I think this USA team is not that prolific. I think we're going to get both teams to score here at minus 120. I really like that. It would not shock me that this game ends up 1-1 after full time. Or essentially an over 2.5. I like the both teams to score minus 120. That's what I'm going to take. I've got some plays closing on USA and Qatar. Draw double chance, so I'm going to stay away from pulling an outright winner, but it will not shock me if this is a both teams to score we get, and we also possibly get an over. That's kind of where I'm leaning. Draft day plays. I've been in all over around. I've got some big plays. Chris Duarte under 15.5. I gave that 2 days ago. That's something we're big on. I'll run through all my draft plays. I take Evan Mobley under 3.5. I took that a while ago. I'm taking a chance on Scotty Barnes to go over 5.5 at plus 375. I'm not going big. It's just a nibble for me. And the reason essentially is that if the Magic pass, he's going to go. He's going to go 7 or 8 or something like that. What's up, Jump Shot? Let me know if you want to come on here and talk MMA. I'll send you the link if you're interested. I also like Usman Garuba, one of the foreign players to go over 16.5. I like Jaden Springer to go under 22.5. Kuminga should go 7. So I took a gamble on the over 7. I think we're really going to push. I don't think we're going to win money on that. I took a gamble on Franz Wagner going to over 8.5. He's the guy. I didn't see much of him in college. He didn't really impress me that much. He was a solid player, but nothing special. For him to go in the top 10 shows you how weak this draft is. Isaiah Jackson, I took under 21. That's right on there. Kai Jones, I took over 15. I love that pick. I don't think Kai Jones is, from what I read, is enamored by that much that's out there. So that's what I got. D, what do you got? We know we got some late baseball coming on here. We got the Orioles game.
I'm on the Padres first 5.
Ooh, you're on the Padres first 5. Shocking. Do they have anybody left that's going to play, or did they trade half the guys away?
Who?
The Padres. I mean,
they haven't traded nobody away yet.
All right, so you have them first 5 at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, and then I was looking at the over in the A's and Angels game, but we got time for that too.
Yeah, I like the over in the Baltimore game. I thought we'd get out of this first inning without a run, and the Orioles started off the game with a triple and didn't score. And then, of course, so the Tigers get out of it, and then the Tigers score a run in the bottom of the first. So I am on the over 10.5 live on that. I hate both of these pitchers. I just thought we'd get a better number by taking the no runs and then turning around and getting there.
Yeah, the Brewers are up 1-0. This USA game is about to start.
Yeah, and like I already said, I don't like the lineup. I have no idea what the U.S. is doing. The only positive I see is they put Leggett back in midfield. That's there. He's there with Acosta and Bucio. But once again, we're on DK and Pablo Arriola. Neither of those guys are true forwards. I mean, DK is, but DK, I can understand throwing him out there because this is a secondary tournament, and you're trying to give him as much experience as possible to try to come through. But that being said, this is the semifinals. You can give them all the experience you want, but we're at the semifinals now. It counts for World Cup standings. We've had a history of not making the World Cup. So there's no way, I don't know why Zardes doesn't start or Jonathan Lewis doesn't start to be able to sit there. Instead, you're going with Areola, who's an experienced player. He just doesn't score. So, I mean, DK, you're hoping basically grows in the next Josie Altidore. He's got the same build and size, but I would have preferred a Zardes next to him or a Christian Roldan starting or somebody of that nature. It's time. You should have sat some of the kids with this game. Flat out tell you, this guitar team is not bad. They can play. All right, looks like we might get another run in the Tigers game because this Oriole pitching is just tremendous.
We learned that last night.
Well, I mean, the Orioles suck. I mean, we'll see if they actually trade any of their guys tomorrow. I think it's so interesting to have the NBA draft, and hey, there's another run by the Tigers, 2-0. All right, it'll be good for our live over 10.5. Let me put that down in the chat so I know because we talked about that. So you're on the Padres. Let me add the Padres first 5. You're taking that -0.5, I assume, right?
Right.
Okay, because I saw it like a -200 for there.
I mean, I like the -1.5 full game too. But we ain't there yet. Richard talked me off there. Watch.
Yeah, if anybody wants to know all my NBA things, the trades that are going down are very interesting. I kind of outlined a trade that I think in the end what the Westbrook trade will probably look like. I think you're going to have those assets that the Wizards are getting, and most of them are going to be shipped off. I have a feeling they hold on to Kuzma because he's probably the most intriguing player of that deal. And Harold gets traded to a team that's for the most part ready to win now, or else he would probably just be a malcontent anyway and demand to be traded, and you'd have to do a buyout, and you're not getting anything for him. But I expect they got the exact assets that the Kings were wanting for Buddy Hield. I expect Dennis Schroeder to be thrown into this in a couple days, and the Hield and Westbrook goes to the Lakers. And then various assets go back and forth. If I'm the Wizards, I'd ask for Marvin Bagley. You can keep Buddy Hield unless they're once again trying to convince them they're ready to win now. I actually like this Wizards team. I thought they were a solid team. You were a playoff team. Yeah, you got beat by the Sixers, but you had to play without Beal for the most part. So you have 2 young players who started to play in Hachimura and Avija, who had a pretty decent rookie year. So I don't understand the move. Hey, Jump Shop's on right now. Someone gave him the link. Hey, what's up, Jump Shot? What's up, Rich? Jump Shot, you're on mute. Rich, you're on mute.
What's up, guys? I was going to break down one fight and probably head out.
No problem. What do you like? I mean, I took your advice. I'm heavy into what is the guy? Strickland?
Yeah, Strickland. I don't know if you guys heard his interview today, but it was absolutely hilarious. The first 15 minutes, the guy's just talking a bunch of crap. It's absolutely hilarious. But the fight I'm looking at is Philip Rowe versus Orion Kosuke. Philip Rowe is the underdog and the guy that I like. He's my plus 140 right now, but I got him at plus 165 like last week, Saturday. Okay. And he's got the more UFC experience. He's got a 4-inch height advantage, 9-inch reach advantage. He's fought the better level of competition. And after his last fight, he took 2 submission underground fights. Lost them both, but his path to victory is going to be keeping on the feet, use his range, distance striking, don't get taken down, the normal stuff.
Isn't he an older fighter though?
Philip Rowe?
Yeah.
I want to say he's like 30 something. I'll look him up real quick.
Okay. That's the one thing that always worries me the way I basically see it with MMA. If you're an older guy in your mid 30s, for the most part, unless you're like a middleweight who just takes punishment, if you don't win in the first 2 rounds, you generally lost.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Hanayaya on Saturday, he's like 38. He's got like 2 rounds of gas, but he's 31, by the way.
He's 31. Okay. It was 7-3.
Okay, but this is the big thing. His opponents landed 3 or 4 takedowns in his 2 fights, so he's got 25% takedown defense. And for Orion Kosuke, in his 1 fight, he landed 1 takedown, 1-on-1 on takedowns. He's the brother of Louis Kosuke, who just got his ass beat a year ago now by Sasha Platnikov. His path to victory is to close the distance, get the takedowns, control time, just don't get caught in a sub. But this is the big thing here that I found out a couple days ago. He had a huge injury last year. 4 bulging discs in his neck, a crushed spinal cord, and overstretched nerves in his right arm. Overstretched nerves causing his right arm to become immobile. That was his quote. And then the doctor said it was going to take a 12 to 18-month recovery time, but he recovered in 3 months. And this was caused by overtraining, which is, kind of normal.
Yep.
But I think that's a huge injury with a length disadvantage, height disadvantage. I'm gonna take the dog, Philip Rowe, plus 140, and probably sprinkle a little bit on the sub.
Okay, I'll take that. I have no problem with that. I can't have another USA like last week. Last week was just killer.
Oh yeah. I mean, literally, it was so bad. I was like up till 3 or 4 in the morning looking at this week's card. So I'm ready for it.
Now, I look at this week's card, and I know we had all the upsets there, but I see Montana winning pretty easily. I see Barberina winning, Garcia winning, and I know you're high on Strickland, so I'm going to go with Strickland, but I do think Hall has a chance.
Oh, yeah, Hall is live. I mean, I think that fight does not go the distance at minus 145 is pretty solid. Even Strickland said in his interview, he's like, I'm going in there to throw hands, and someone's going to sleep. Kind of situation. Underdogs that are live, in my opinion. I'm not going to take them, but they're live. Philip Rowe is my underdog of the week. Trevin Jones is live. Danny Chavez is live.
What about DePaula? Because Buys sucks.
Who's that? Oh, Gloria DePaula?
Yes. Cheyenne.
She in her last fight, she fought Jinyu Frey, the chick who's fighting Ashley Yoder this week.
Yep.
And Jinyu Frey is an atom weight. She's like a 105er pretty much. And she just laid on DePaula, and DePaula didn't get up. That's how she lost the fight.
Yep.
But DePaula had some good volume on the feet. I got that fight to go the distance in a parlay, but I would stay away from that fight. Mr. Perfect, Jung Ho Kwang versus Hani Yaya.
Yeah, is this like the Asian fight? I mean, like the young card basically looks like they went to Japan and Asia and basically said, all right, we need some fighters.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need your Olympic fighters. Let's go.
Yeah, pretty much. A lot of cancellations, too. They're supposed to have Sam Alvey versus Roman Kopylov. And then Jared Gooden is stepping up on short notice to fight Nicholas Stolze. I don't know too much about that fight.
Yeah, the one person I read where Stolze is an absolute lock.
He's a beast? Yeah, I'll have to look into him more. I think Ronnie Yade is kind of live too, but he's an older guy. He's like 38, and I saw a quote today that he said he has nothing to prove, which is not a good.
I'm here to collect the check. Yeah,
but yeah, I'll leave on that. Philip Rowe money line plus 140 between plus 140 plus 150 ish. Maybe a little sprinkle on the sub plus 750.
All right, I'll take that.
All right, thanks guys. Looking forward to some winners.
Yep.
Appreciate it, man.
Thanks. All right, so the Orioles, once again, don't get any runs. Tigers are back up again. The run line has dropped. Rich, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm finishing up making dinner. You guys don't want to see me cooking, do you?
I don't know. Depends upon how good you are. I've been watching TikTok cooking videos for like a month now.
Oh, so
Oh, right in front. Oh, come on.
safe to say you're an expert then.
Well, I'm trying to like work on incorporating some of them. But if you watch those videos, those things are awesome. They're really not difficult. It's just kind of like doing things a different way.
Yeah.
And then adding some things. Like today I watched one guy take dough, put a hot dog on the corner, roll it all the way into where you basically get a square. Basically then from there, put cheese in the middle, put some hot dog and bacon bits in the middle.
Yeah.
Top it off with some I think it was marinara sauce that he used. And then fold it back, the little sleeves all in. So you like to make a pie. And basically, so when you cut it open, you're kind of making yourself a hot dog and bacon pie thing. It was actually very interesting.
Huh.
So then I watched one guy things you could do with some bratwurst, where you actually cut it open, you put a block of cheddar cheese right in the middle, you smoke it for a couple hours, then you cut slits on the side, you roll that into a little bit of barbecue sauce, put it on the grill just to be able to, you wrap it in bacon, then you put it on the grill to make the grill crispy, and then you're done. I was like, that looks so good. I would pay someone to have that. I mean, it's just stuff that, like, if a restaurant did this, I would order this, but not a lot of stuff. I mean, there's stuff I'm trying. I'm working on some of the egg stuff and some of that kind of stuff, and it's interesting. So,
my wife found she found the TikTok and she started watching those TikTok videos, and it basically makes me want to fucking hang myself because it's the same fucking songs over and over.
Well, the songs are there. If you notice my videos, most of my songs are from the 80s and 90s, probably in bands people have never heard of. For my TikTok, and I mean, I'm doing my TikTok bets up there. I've got a TikTok bet on this guitar. I mean, so far I keep halving my TikTok bets, but it's not a loss, so I'll take that. But it's good. I mean, if I can get away from the person that basically said, if I could stop getting the OnlyFans videos, that would kind of be nice. Still trying to figure out how I get all them. I guess because I'm a guy. That automatically went into the algorithm. All right. I need to see a bunch of people who claim they like older men.
Here's what I got: steak salad.
All right. That's not bad. It's not bad. I mean, I just did a little barbecue chicken with some macaroni and cheese. So that's it. It doesn't have to be there. It just has to be edible. So any plays you got for tonight? Since we're done talking about food.
Everything already started. I'm still
looking at things online.
What's that?
I mean, we still can get things live.
So I'm on the Brewers first 5 -1/2. They're up 1-0. I'm on the Tigers Orioles over 9.5. I'm on the Jays Red Sox first 5 over 5.5. I don't want anything to do with that Rockies Padres game. I might have something on the A's Angels game.
I don't know. I might have to ward off the Dodgers. Dodgers have cost me like 4 or 5 times this week already. And the worst part is they've been winning when I went to bed.
That's what. So we were in the Discord earlier, and somebody was asking about taking the Dodgers live. And I'm like, if they don't get them here, I'm like, I think the Dodgers have cashed out in this game. I think they're out. Like, I think this game's over. I don't know if they score. The Dodgers pen has been atrocious, like the last 2 weeks. So I wouldn't be banking on the Dodgers pen to not only hold a lead or to not give up runs, but I wouldn't bet on the Dodgers to be able to score either, because the Giants' pen is pretty good. So,
Yeah, D, can you get any draft trips? Because there was a thing that I looked and I saw you could actually still make money on. Was we pretty much all know, okay, we got Cade, we got Green, and we got Mobley. Those are the top 3 picks. The question is number 4.
Bugs.
I don't think so. I mean, Toronto's the team I think that wants the deal.
Yeah.
If there's a Ben Simmons trade, I doubt there will be one announced today. There may be one like discussed.
But is there anybody that's going to be there that's worth trading up for?
Well, that's the thing. I'll go first and I'll talk about this draft. This draft, despite what other paid
Yo, Fox, you went on mute. Was that me?
No, I can't hear him either.
Hey, sorry about that. I hit the button.
Yep.
All right, can you hear me? Despite what
Yeah.
other YouTube sites would like to tell you how great this draft is, this draft blows. And the league has already basically said this draft blows. You have 4 guys in this draft that can be true difference makers. The rest of these guys, I expect 50% of these guys to be playing in the G League. More than what we're going to see next year when you get the high schoolers and almost half the draft just plays in the G League. And that's what these are going to turn into. It's going to be kind of sometimes turning into kind of hockey drafts where you basically draft the kids, but now that you've got a full minor league system that's set up, okay, well, we have no issue drafting the kid on potential because we don't have to play him.
Yeah. Same as baseball. Same as baseball.
So with this draft, Toronto wants to draft Scotty Barnes. They would like to not draft Scotty Barnes with the 4th overall pick. The issue is the Magic have done a pretty good job kind of showing that they're interested in Scotty Barnes. But to me, that's not who the Magic need to draft. The Magic need to draft James Bouknight because they're trying to trade Terrence Ross, who I expect Ross to be traded tonight. They need someone to score. Mo Bamba's not a scorer. Wendell Carter's not a scorer. Jonathan Isaac really isn't a scorer. He's a jack of all trades. Markelle Fultz. Someone has to score the basketball. And to me, Bouknight is that guy. He can come in there. He can give you that scoring mentality right away. And he's one of the more intriguing guys I like with the draft, where if you went and draft Scotty Barnes, you've got Scotty Barnes. You've got Scotty Barnes playing 2-3 inches taller in Jonathan Isaac. I mean,
Bouknight is a pure scorer. When he went out at UConn, that team couldn't fucking score at all.
Yeah,
I mean, he was the offense himself. He can make his own shot. I mean, he's a pure scorer.
So one of the things I expect, if Toronto trades out or if the Magic pass on Barnes, then he'll go over, which is why I told you I took a nibble on the over 5.5. Because if the Magic pass on Barnes, I won. Because, yes, I do think it's going to be Suggs or Barnes at 4 for Toronto. But I think Toronto would love to drop down. But if teams dropping down, they're dropping down to be able to get Suggs. There's not going to be a ton of guys that teams are going to want to get. There's going to be some intriguing guys that can come off the bench. This will be a great draft to draft for the bench. Marcus Moody from Arkansas will be kind of a THT guy. A guy can hit outside shots, but he's not a bona fide starter in this league that can play. You're going to have a lot of foreign guys. You're going to have probably 4 foreign guys drafted in the first round. Teams are really going to look for guys that can stash and let grow before trying to bring them over type guys. I mean, it's funny. You get to like pick 16, and a lot of these guys, you're like, who? Who the hell is Jaden Springer? And why all of a sudden his stock draft growing up? And you're like, I don't remember talking about Jaden Springer at all in the whole college basketball season. You get Thomas from there. I mean, the guys you do talk about are all projected to go between 25 and 32, and that never happens. I had Sumo at 27. If the Lakers do trade for Westbrook, I had Sumo is not going to the Lakers, which is generally where they thought he would go. That's not going to happen.
You think Golden State is going to take Franz Wagner?
I think it would be a mistake. Franz Wagner is the biggest guy. Franz Wagner actually did the I'm a superstar workout routine. He refused to work out for teams. He only worked out for less than 5 teams. He attended the combine just to be measured. Apparently, he's grown 2 inches, but nobody can confirm that he's actually grown 2 inches. I mean, that's the biggest rumor in the game, that he's now 6'11" and not 6'9". But his whole camp, and apparently there's a source that said, yes, he has grown. Whether it's actually a full 2 inches, who knows? But I don't see Franz Wagner as a top 10 pick in almost any draft. So I was laughing when this other place was telling me how great this draft was, and teams are going to be trying to go crazy to move up. No, every team basically 10 to 15 wants to drop down. Well, they would like to pick up a pick for next year.
I think there's a big disconnect when people are evaluating NBA talent versus what we see in college basketball, because a lot of times what we see in college basketball does not translate to the NBA. The best college basketball players probably a lot of times don't show up in the NBA, or they show up for a couple years and fizzle out. It doesn't translate.
Yep. Well, if they ref the game based on the new rules next year, it's a totally new NBA. Every team is totally different. I mean, you're going to see unders because guys aren't going to go to the free throw line as much. And you're not going to see these glorific PRAs of 40 and 50 because guys aren't getting free points. Trae Young's not going to get 15 points from the free throw line, 10 points from the free throw line.
So what are they trying to change?
They're trying to make it just like what you're seeing right now in the Olympic game, which means no longer if you jump into a player, or you pull back on a player, which is huge, which means, when they get in front of the guy and they just jump back into him,
right,
will no longer be called.
That's the FIBA rules, right?
That's the international rule.
Yeah.
Correct. I mean, I think the NBA has watched it and this has got out of handy. We're also basically deciding games for the most part and a lot of things by free throws.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Some of those games. I mean, I didn't watch a ton of NBA basketball. I watched the playoffs and I watched the finals, but some of those games are just disgusting with the fouls, and it's just guys flopping all over the place. It's horrible. It's a terrible watch.
Did you see the TikTok I posted?
No.
Okay, hold on.
Dude, I don't have TikTok. I don't do the TikTok thing.
You got to just download this, just because it's funny, and I'll show it to you here. Just because it was funny, and I posted it.
Wait a minute. Was it the soccer players?
No.
Oh.
So you don't have TikTok, but yet you know which one it was?
No, there was one with soccer players that I saw.
Okay. So here, I will post this live. I don't know if I'll get in trouble for that. We'll find out. So this was an ending to a high school basketball game. It's quite funny. But to me, this would be like what would happen if I was coaching in the NBA, because this is how games would end. All right, tell me when you can see it. Okay.
Yeah, I can see it.
All right, if you watch it'll refresh in a second. So here it is. Notice he's the only kid at the free throw line. His whole team is fouled out. So here he goes. He gets his rebound. Watch when he cuts through all 5 guys. Then he just jumps up, takes a shot, turns around. Now he runs back to go follow the ball and play defense. This would be me if I was an NBA coach, because I would just pound the shit out of the ball, and you'd be forced to call fouls. And that would be like my whole thing. So, I think, as much as they've called him in the past, as a week as they called him, like, teams should have really took advantage of it. And to me, they never really took massively advantage of it. So it'll be very interesting, because to me, that diminishes a guy like Harden. It diminishes a guy like Trae Young. It diminishes a guy, to some degree, Luka, but he doesn't really jump into players as much. He started to do it towards the end when he basically knew he had to score. But,
if you can manufacture points that way,
yeah,
it might suck, but you got to take advantage of what they're giving you.
Yeah.
It's an ugly watch, though.
Oh, yeah. It becomes almost unwatchable at times.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. All right. So the U.S. is trying to get in, make it a little more physical here, because I will say Qatar has outplayed them. First 25 minutes in, we get a nice corner. Nobody can get the ball out. No, that was terrible.
This is soccer, right?
Yeah. Qatar's playing the United States in the semis. Yes, men's. This is not the Olympics.
Oh.
This is CONCACAF.
Oh, okay.
This is our equivalent to Europa.
Oh, okay.
Except it's Central America, North America Federation. So you're not getting the South American teams. They played their own tournament.
So are your best players still in the Olympics?
No. The Olympics has very strict rules on who could play and an age limit for men's soccer. I believe it's 24. I'm going to look it up right now. All right. So the U.S. men's soccer age rules on the men's and women's: 20 players who are 23 years old or younger, with only 3 players allowed to be older than 23. Which is why these Olympic Games you haven't seen and say, okay, it's a complete Brazil's beating everybody. No, I still think Brazil's going to win it. They have the best younger than 23 or slightly older. I think he had a birthday player in the tournament, and he's playing forward, and he scored a hat trick twice already. So I think they will win it. That was my pick to win it at plus 260, which is what I gave. But I would like to see a first half goal by somebody. The U.S. is getting a little bit better. We're getting a little more ball possession. This is kind of the U.S. borderline B-C team. But these wins all count towards World Cup qualifying. So,
gotcha.
Yeah, so we got to win, right?
We'd want to win. Tiger scored again, by the way.
The Red Sox are working on leaving as many guys on base as possible without scoring any runs.
Yeah, and the Blue Jays have scored, though. It's 4-0 right now.
Every time I look up, there's guys on base.
Here comes Qatar again. They've had the better scoring chances. Right in the box, and he goes over the goal.
Oh, yeah.
So does your boy Sexton get traded?
Who?
Colin Sexton.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe. Is he still under contract? I thought his contract was up.
No, he's still under contract.
This must be the last year. He wants a I know he wants a mega deal. I know
He
he's not
wants-
going to get it.
I mean, everybody wants a mega deal, and that's the issue. The only reason he's really available because he wants a mega deal.
Right.
I think he's restricted, to be honest with you. I'm looking at it right now.
This might be year 4.
I mean, the only way they want to move, and they want to move him with Kevin Love.
Right. Sure.
So this is the first year he's eligible for an extension. So this is the last year of his $6.3 million, and then he could do a qualifying offer of 8.5, keeps him as restricted for next year.
Right.
So, and that's why teams like the Knicks be interested. I mean, I think you get them. The issue is you got to take on that terrible Kevin Love contract. It's a smart move by them to try to say, okay, we're packaging with him.
Right.
Because Love still got 2 years on his deal, 31 and 28 million. But on the right team, Love could still be a productive and a better than productive player. He can be better than Blake Griffin was. But I do love the rest of the league was like, already, well, we're waiting on to see if the buyout process of Kevin Love. And Toronto was like, there's no buyout process yet of Kevin Love. Don't put that in there. I mean, but that's the issue. I mean, you get teams like who go, why do I have to worry about drafting or trading when I can always just buy out a good player as long as I have cap and a place that he wants to play. Like one guy goes, oh, the Lakers are such a model franchise. I was like, let's see. You got great weather, great spot to do all your extra stuff, dream ownership that's generally pretty decent, good management. They get a lot of players on the cheap. That's one of the reasons they're always a winning franchise.
Well, and they have LeBron right now.
Well, they get their superstar player, and then
Build
they
around it.
basically guys want to go. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they weren't a winning franchise when D'Angelo Russell was your key guy with him and Brandon Ingram. They were terrible.
Right.
But they knew eventually, as soon as they got cap room, they'll just be able to go get a free agent because he's going to want to go play to LA. So Jonathan Cavani's been updating his mock draft. Yeah, he's got the first 5 going what it was. But, I mean, we'll see. I'm not a big Wagner plan. I think Jonathan Kuminga is an interesting guy. So that's kind of one of the one deals. I took Wagner over 8.5. I don't think it makes sense for Golden State, but I mean, again, they could just grab this anybody and just say, okay, it's there. I wouldn't be shocked if the Warriors trade out.
That Warriors pick, that number 7 is from Minnesota.
Yeah, that's the only issue. If you trade out, you're basically then saying our big asset that we got for that turned out to be nothing. And it's sometimes hard to sell your fans, but of any team, they're generally the ones that could sell their fans on that.
Yeah, I mean, is it worth taking a guy at 8 just because? I mean, you're gonna if you trade down, you can get, maybe you trade down, you turn that 8th into, maybe you got your eyes on somebody next year. You turn that 8th into, maybe something top 10 next year.
To me, you look at that team and you say, okay, what are our issues?
Inside scoring.
Inside scoring, correct.
And rebounding.
Franz Wagner, is he helping the inside scoring?
No.
No. The other issue is what are you have to answer the question on what you're doing with Andrew Wiggins. You also have to know who's staying and who's leaving that team.
I thought Wiseman scored inside.
Wiseman does, but I mean, Wiseman's coming off injury. I mean, Anderson will be back. Green will be back. Kelly Oubre, probably not.
No.
You already have Jordan Poole. He's basically your guy of the future. He's played well. So your biggest thing is kind of a backup 2 guard.
You got Pascal. He's been all right, right?
Pascal's been solid, yeah. Pascal's another guy solid. So, I mean, I see a team with decent depth. They can definitely use another big, but unless they're going to drop down to like 9 or 10 and get Sagoon, there's not a lot of bigs in this draft.
Right.
So, I mean, you could go draft and get an Alberto Sagoon who's flying up the board on a lot of people's spot, and he should be a solid player. But I see the only thing I would look for them is to be getting a 2 guard. And a guy, if I could get a Marcus Moody in 2 or 3 picks later,
Right.
I would be much more inclined.
But we already have the 14th, though. We could do that. We could just finesse the 14th.
Well, you could.
Then what do you do with 8?
Well, 8 could be drafted to the pick if you want a guy to win now.
Or maybe you draft somebody else wants and you trade.
Yeah, I mean,
they do that shit all
there is word that the Magic would say Wendell Carter, but the 8th is not what you give up for Wendell Carter. I wouldn't even give up first for Wendell Carter, but maybe the 14th. That would make a lot of sense too, because that would give him another young big to play. But they probably want a more veteran player. I mean, it's interesting when you start to see what these guys are asking for money. Like Rashawn Holmes wants $80 million. What? Rashawn Holmes is not worth $80 million.
I forget who it was that signed a few years ago, and they got like $200 million or $150 million or something like that. And one of the Hall of Fame basketball players came out and he's like, I cannot believe that this dude signed for $150 million. He's like, I didn't make $150 million in my entire career, and I'm a Hall of Famer. He's like, basically was saying like, this dude's a bum, and he's making $150 million.
Yeah.
Mobley's going to be nice. I'm glad
I like Mobley. I really like Mobley as a player because he can step outside. He can go through. I mean, we're talking like guys like Josh Giddey.
Yeah.
Josh Giddey is a small forward who is basically a kind of a Ben Simmons clone. What's up, MT?
Yeah, what's up, MT? Where did he even play at? I don't even remember hearing his name.
Australia.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
He was one of the high schoolers that did what Lonzo LaMelo did. They went to Australia.
I forget that there's so many kids in this draft that you probably have never heard of because they either play, they're either from Europe or they played in the the Ignite League or whatever, and
Well, it's still the G League. The team was called Ignite. They took a team that basically gave them all the top high school prospects and put them on one team. I never understood the NBA for doing that.
And the pick is in. The Warriors trade Wiggins and 2 first-round picks for Cade Cunningham.
That'd be a better move. What's up, Benjamin? What's up, MC13? Cade Cunningham. Now, I like Cade Cunningham, but the issue with Cade Cunningham is this. Does he really have a good enough outside shot?
I don't know, man.
I mean,
the problem is the level of competition kind of that he was seeing, was what he was seeing in the Big 12 going to translate over. Now, I mean, they beat Oklahoma State beat Baylor. Twice, I think. They beat them twice. At least once, anyway. And Baylor, I mean, that Baylor defense, you saw what they did in the final, right? I mean, that Baylor defense is crazy good. So it's probably one of the best defenses you're going to run into in college basketball. So that, I mean, he played well.
I mean, I like Cade Cunningham. There's questions I have with his scoring ability.
Right.
I think in Detroit, he's going to fit in great. You're going to match him up. You're going to keep Jeremy Grant. you're going to have my boy Sadiq Bey, and hopefully they're just not a really good average team. One of those guys is going to have to turn into a really, really good player. Maybe it's Jeremy Grant. He's doing so well he doesn't even play in the Olympics on a bad USA team.
Do they have Detroit? Do they have any bigs?
Well, Jeremy Grant technically is big.
Hmm.
They also have Isaiah Stewart.
Oh, Stewart. That's right. That's what I was thinking of. He was a rookie last year.
Yeah, but he's also, again, he's a big fat rookie. He's not as tall. He's not a 7 footer. He's 6'10". He's Caleb Swanigan with a little bit more moves.
He's wide.
Yeah, he's a wide body. He's a taller Robert Tractor Trailer, so that's positive.
Oh.
But I do like Cunningham's game. I think like I said, the first 3 picks have tremendous upside potential and are worthy of being really good high-end lottery picks. Soon as we get past 3, we're looking at, for the most part, reserve players.
Yeah.
I mean, you might have a guy that steps out like a Book Knight or something like that. It comes through. But, I mean, you look at, like, Marcus Moody. Marcus Moody is generally referred to as Malik Monk 2.0.
That's okay.
Which Monk is a hot or cold player. Sometimes he scores 30. Sometimes he scores 4. But I like Moody. He's got good size, good outside shot, can play solid defense. The only thing I love, you're 100%. We know what the top 3 picks is, and we wait like 17 minutes for them to tell us what the picks are.
Yep.
I'm just looking through the.
And then everybody's favorite, the NBA draft absolutely hates this guy. Wojo always announces the pick like 30 seconds early on his draft. It's like no expansion. Here comes the notification. The pick is in. They've picked da-da-da.
Spoiler alert, you son of a bitch.
Well, apparently the Wizards talked to Bradley Beal with the Russell Westbrook trade, and he was okay with it based on the plan they gave him. He doesn't want to leave Washington. He's from Washington. He doesn't – I mean, I don't think he's ever going to leave until the end.
I mean, I get it. I don't know.
I don't like the trade. I like the trade if it's the final trade that I showed in the Discord where you end up getting Schroeder. Because to me, if you want to pass up Schroeder for Westbrook, I would take that deal. And especially if I end up getting maybe a Kuzma and a first-round pick. Because here's the kicker. Westbrook, you're paying him $44 million. I'm also getting $8 million more salary cap in whatever deal I do so I can go get the next guy. Even with getting Schroeder, they'd still have an $8 million savings. In my deal where you got Schroeder and Kuzma, who could be interesting, or it could be just a $13 million bust. Like I expect a third team to come in, and if you look at what they got for the Westbrook trade, that's exactly who Sacramento wanted. This is where it makes sense to say, okay, you want Buddy Hield? We'll give you Dennis Schroeder. You've had a couple hours to tell Dennis Schroeder that he's going to be a backup point guard that you're going to pay $23 million for. I don't see that happening. Because Westbrook's coming over in a trade at $44 million. Making as much as LeBron.
Crazy.
That makes sense, right? That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
To me, I always have told you that the way the stats are calculated now in the NBA allows the guys to get these triple doubles and these enormous stats. But they don't really match what they produce on the game.
Jason Preston.
There it is, boys. Month and a half early. Gave you it at -125. This is why we watch the show. Jalen Green, number 2 pick, minus 125. Gave to you at the middle of May. It cashes. It was minus 1,600. We knew we were going to get that cash, so we could definitely do a ring that bell. I know it's definitely not this show, but it's been a long time coming. But when I give draft picks, sometimes we do got to wait till they can actually cash. So I'm going to go back with my little shorty. And just for futures, I had a big nut on that. I also had another nut today. I doubled down. I took a minus 1,200 for a unit. So had that not come, you probably would have heard me like jump out of the window. But yeah.
Was that glass breaking? Is Stone Cold here?
I like Jalen Green. He's going to be a very good player. He could probably be the best player in this draft. This is the one guy that the Pistons were waffling over possibly taking. That's why when they originally discussed trades with the Rockets didn't. It was not known who the Rockets were going after. But as soon as they discovered that they would basically be going after Jalen Green, that ended the deal. The Rockets were not moving up to 1 to take Cade Cunningham. They were moving up to 1 to take Jalen Green. And the Wizards trade is official. They get Bradley Beal sign off on the deal, and they say they have a trade has been agreed to.
Hector San Diego. Wow.
So Westbrook will be in LA. I mean, it's amazing how they pulled that off with absolutely negative $90 million in cap space. I still don't think the final deal we'll see until a couple days. So we're trying to see if Jack Sock here can win a set. He's down 2. He's up 2-1 in the second. He lost the first set. We got no more runs in the Brewers game. Come on, they're playing the Pirates. Got to be able to score runs. USA Qatar goes into halftime 0-0. Not exactly what I want.
Here you go, Reg. Who you guys taking? Mobley?
Yeah, they're going to take Mobley.
Yeah,
the first 3 picks were the lock of the.
It's done. Yeah, it's done. It was done a few days ago, I think. Basically.
Yeah. I'll talk again after it's official.
You got Jason Preston in this draft. You got
second rounder.
You got Ayayi. You got
borderline
Lakers.
First.
Yeah. You got we mentioned Ayo DeSumo. You got Deuce McBride from West Virginia.
It should be drafted near the 20s, 22, 23. Zaire Williams is probably the one guy who could be drafted way ahead of schedule.
Yeah.
One of the guys I love, and to me, he's a bigger Montrezl Harrell, is Day'Ron Sharpe. I would take Day'Ron Sharpe after 25. I'd run up to the podium. He's got size. He's got skill. He's young. He's still learning the game, but he's a monster.
So, okay. So they, I'm just looking at best available on ESPN, and they've got Sharpe listed at overall 23.
Well, this is 25, so yeah, and that's
whatever.
Most drafts have him going as the last pick or the second to last pick.
Well, he's a center, so I guess it depends on if you. A lot of teams don't even play with centers anymore.
But he's an agile center. He's not a big, blokey guy who can't move laterally side to side.
6'11", 265. Yeah, it's not like he's 285 or something like that, or 300.
And that's always fun when you try to get your measurements because you have 6'11". Right?
What's that?
You have 6'11", right?
Yeah, this says 6'11", 265.
Yeah, I have 7 foot.
I guess it depends on what shoes he's wearing.
So yeah.
And
there's Evan Mobley. There we go. All right, that was my next how to get my money back for baseball. I took the minus 900 on Evan Mobley today. So
Would you put the rent? The whole put out the car insurance for your new whip?
Say that again.
Did you break the bank on that one?
lay the wood.
Yes, I laid the wood. I laid the minus 900. Made the line as 1,200. Yes, I'm doing nice. Then I had green.
Baseball this afternoon was a fucking train wreck. So
yeah.
Next time I am betting afternoon baseball, I want somebody to slam my freaking hand in the car door.
Well, it was afternoon baseball, Olympic tennis. Apparently it was 100 degrees in Japan in the morning. Medvedev asked the ref that I need to stop. And the ref said, "Are you injured?" And he said, "I think I'm going to die."
Yeah.
And then the ref said, "That's not an injury." And he said, "Are you responsible? Going to take responsibility if I die?" That's what he told the chair.
It's ridiculous. These guys, like you said, it'd be like these guys are trying to play in Texas in the middle of summer, like outside. I don't know who decided it was okay to have these Olympics in Tokyo in July, but obviously somebody lied to somebody about what the temperature is like over there. I can't imagine.
That's why I see some of you see upsets galore happening in the Olympics, and I honestly think it's because these guys don't care. The guys that are playing are like,
either.
Whatever, I've lost. Let me get out of this court. Let me get out of this country as fast as I can. You had 3,500 positive cases today.
You got to think about it. They're over in Tokyo, right? It's hot as balls over there, right? You go outside and it's like you're walking onto the sun. Right?
Most people forget it's an island. You're on the same part of the equator about like California. So if California was a small island, which it will be in probably 15 years, you'll know essentially what it kind of feels like. So, yes.
Well, that's what MT says right there. It's tropical. It's tropical. Yeah.
But it's normally not what you think of when you think of Japan, though. You don't sit there and go, "Oh, that's a tropical destination." No, because it's too much of a major city.
Well, and then they're over there. Like I was watching on, they've got NBC. They've got the morning people are over there and everything, and they always do stuff in the morning. And they're this morning they were touring around Japan or whatever, and they've got them in this little bus or something. They're driving them around, showing them all the sights and stuff. And they're like, "We can't get out. Like we're not allowed to actually get out." And I'm like, does that tell you guys something that you're over there and you're actually not allowed to get out? Like you're not allowed to get out of the bus. Like, and then when you're watching the games, I was watching the swimming last night. The 800 meter, they actually did a side by side with an advert. They started running fucking commercials during an event.
Yes,
I'm like,
it's the lowest. It's the lowest rated Olympics in 30 years. It's
watching the Olympics.
Funny because obviously with views, you have some sides viewing that, that's because the people aren't standing for the flag. That has nothing to do with it. That's for the most part, we don't care. I mean, the days where we worry about the Olympics there. So I did some things, and I always sit there and everyone's like, "Oh, we win the medal count," which, by the way, we're doing the worst that we've done in the last 22 years on pace for the lowest medal count we're there. We'll probably still win the medal count. Why? We have 175 more athletes than the third most country.
Yeah.
The second most country, we have 90 more athletes. What does that mean? That means we're going to win more semifinals. We're going to get more guys into the finals and a chance to win more medals. In the end, you're getting 8 guys, and 3 of them are going to get medals. So, we spend. Oh, now granted, our spending is not from the government, so they do raise it, but they spend over 1.5 billion more than any other country in the Olympics. So it's such a big deal to us that we spend all this money, which, by the way, the government pays our gold, silver, whatever, kind of the lowest amount of any country. There's only 3 other countries that pay lower. Like in Singapore, if you win, you get $1 million. Australia, you get 700,000. In the U.S., if you win a gold medal, you get 37K.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to get a lot of advertising money, but
yeah, I mean,
no, they did it. They did it. They took Scotty Barnes. I told you they couldn't find a trade to get him, so they took him at 4. So this was my big shot to hit at plus 370. That didn't hit. So, but I that's what I was talking about before when I said the top 4. You could take the top 4 in Suggs and the top 4 in Barnes, and you would have made plus money.
yeah.
I mean, part of this move is Pascal Siakam saying he wanted to be traded. He's basically a Pascal Siakam clone. He's a 6'8" guy. He plays elite defense. But he's not a guy who can score. But Toronto has plenty of scorers.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think Lowry is either at the end of his deal or he's going to either he wants to be traded, or he's going to be traded.
Yeah, what's up, Gerardo?
What's up, Gerardo? He's not going to be. Lowry's not going to be there next year.
Well, he's the piece they're holding on for in the Ben Simmons deal. But people were like actually intelligent and thought it would be like Kyle Lowry, some picks, maybe OG Anunoby for Ben Simmons. The Sixers asked for Fred VanVleet, Kyle Lowry, OG Anunoby, and first-round picks.
Wow.
They value Ben Simmons higher than every other team in the league. They're basically, by saying that, they are not going to give him away. They may want to trade him, but he's not being given away. We've got Qatar, USA, crap red 0-0. But Qatar definitely won that first half.
Well, nobody's. I don't know. I don't think anybody's like busting the door down to sell the farm for Ben fucking Simmons.
Well, I think in the right place. I mean, if he ended up in Golden State, without Golden State giving up the farm, and they put him away from point guard and made him play low post, I think he could be effective. I honestly think you've got to play him in the low post.
But not for 4 draft picks.
No, not for 4 draft picks. I said making sense. Right now, they're asking the world. The question is, when does the world come down to the moon? And that's the question. But that was the biggest thing where people talked about with the Sixers holding on to him was if Bradley Beal came available, he would be a guy they would look to send for Bradley Beal. To me, you're holding on to him if you think Dame Lillard's going to be available. It would be a really interesting backcourt with Portland if they did that deal. But yeah.
That'd be
All
crazy.
right, now we get the fun. So this is the Magic. Do the Magic take Jalen Suggs? Who they'd want to take, but if they do, you're basically telling Markelle Fultz, here's the pine. I would take Jalen Suggs. But this is also a deal where if you're the Magic, these are guys where the teams wanted to move him. This is where the Warriors talked about moving up. Yes, you have Steph Curry. Steph Curry is not a spring chicken. So getting your point guard apparent right now, instead of drafting a guy who, Franz Wagner, Makes sense. So,
What's up, Gerardo?
I honestly think this could definitely be. Who was supposed to be number one? It was supposed to be Cade Cunningham. He went number one.
1, 2, and 3 were as scheduled. 4 was between two guys, and one of the two guys got taken.
Yep. And to me, that tells me that they weren't comfortable enough to drop down because they thought the Magic would take them. So you're taking Scotty Barnes. Solid player. I like Scotty Barnes as a player. But, I mean, can he be able to score in the NBA level? That's going to be close. So, I mean, if you're the Magic here, if you're OKC, if you're the Warriors,
Knocking on that damn door.
I mean, this is the time where you could say I could go ahead and get Jalen Suggs, and depending upon what the asking price is, that's what I would do.
We got the U-Haul and more, so hopefully they back it up.
Well, you have a ton of picks. But apparently, Woj says he was on top of their so their draft board, supposedly, according to Woj, was Scotty Barnes and then Jalen Suggs in that order. So Toronto was right that if they traded down, they weren't going to get Scotty Barnes. Whether that turns out to be any big deal will be interesting. The Indiana has moved into the first round. Milwaukee has traded their first round pick for two later seconds and a future second. So Milwaukee has ended their night. You can all go home.
Yep. Good night.
They've decided that this draft is not that good, and fine, we'll take some guys we can stash overseas.
We just won the championship. We're getting the fuck out of here.
Yeah, fuck this.
That's the days with the Bulls. I mean, if you remember, the Bulls used to draft Mark Randall with their first round pick. And there it is. The Magic do take Jalen Suggs. All
right, so now this is where it gets tricky, right?
Yeah, this is where it can go anywhere. This is OKC. If I'm OKC, I'm taking James Bouknight. If I'm OKC, they have the most picks of any team. So people say, well, dropping down and acquiring more picks, it depends. If you can get 2 picks, to me, what is the biggest difference between James Bouknight and Marcus Moody or Chris Duarte or Zaire Williams or Jalen Johnson? Is there that much of a difference? Not like James Bouknight's going to be a star. James Bouknight, to me, reminds me of Terrence Ross. They could take the biggest mystery is Jonathan Kuminga. We got him. What is Drew was saying? We got a jump shot saying we got him. He's like jump shot's a Detroit guy. Cunningham. Yeah. So what's the Lakers' end game? I think the end game is to work out the third team with the Sacramento Kings, end up getting Buddy Hield, getting rid of Schroeder, and getting Westbrook and Buddy Hield. Then their other end game is going to be what they do every year of high-end teams. Wait to see which guys get bought out, then we sign them for no money.
Yeah, so we got 4-0 Tigers. So ultimately, I mean,
we're going to need the Orioles to do something.
Well, the cap on this Orioles-Tigers game was that both bullpens were basically used up yesterday. I think the Orioles used 5 or 6 guys. The Tigers used 5 or 6 guys. These teams are only carrying like 7 or 8 arms in the pen. So the cap was the back end of the game should be a little ugly. So That's why we took full game over rather than first 5.
Yeah. So we got DK now hurt in this USA game, and yet he's still on the field. Come on, let's put Zardes in here and don't wait to the end and try to win this 1-0. I mean, I like Jalen Suggs. I think he could be a solid player. I don't think he's a star.
Dodgers are swooping in on Scherzer. Says Dodgers making a move for Scherzer. They're currently the front runners to acquire him.
I ain't worried about it.
We're probably shocked at what the Nats were going to let him go for.
Probably.
Well, I didn't realize that it's his last year, so.
Oh, he's a rental, yeah. I mean,
I kind of don't want him.
I don't know how many years. I don't know how many years dude's got left. I mean, he's like 36, isn't he? 36.
Yeah, I was looking at it. He was drafted in what, 2006?
I mean, he banged around with some teams for a while. He was with the Tigers for a while. I mean, dude's been around.
He's AJ Burnett 2.0.
I mean, he's very similar to Verlander, right? Verlander's like 37, 38 too, I think. Still good.
Cash it, Rich. There we go.
Cash what?
I needed that. That first 5.
On which?
The Brewers?
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Brewers first 5.
I needed that. And USA just sucks.
Well, we need to make some changes here. The forward that we're leaving in to get experience is kind of playing with one arm.
Oh, kind of. Does he really need an arm, though?
We got 5
Yeah,
runs.
guys off.
5 runs. Red Sox, Jays need 1 more to cash this first 5. Man, these over 5.5s are a bitch to freaking get to. That's a lot of freaking runs. Of course, they've had the bases loaded in almost every inning.
Yeah. My wife is sending me videos of Milo playing with his toys in a rough manner. Messing up the seahorse. I mean, this is the other guy. I mean, Josh Giddey. Josh Giddey, who is a small forward, they say eventually will end up as a point guard. He's my favorite guy that I like to hear about the draft. You know what they describe him? He's a great passer, but he can't shoot. Man, where have we heard that every time?
Awesome. That's always what I like to draft in the first round. A freaking guy who can't shoot.
He's
Playing basketball.
6'9". He's a 6'9" guard. Who played over in Australia.
He's a great passer who can't shoot. So I'm assuming, are you comparing him to Ben Simmons?
I'd probably compare him. I mean, some people think he's going to be better than that. I mean, there's been tons of 6'9" because everybody thinks they have the next Magic Johnson. I mean, your guys from LaMelo Ball, 6'8", 6'9" guy. That's probably more the better comparison.
Wait, did they already pick?
Yeah, it's going to be Josh Giddey.
Isn't that a reach?
Most people had him going between 9. But again, this is what I told you. This draft is, from me, this draft to the end, to the next 10 guys are all there. By the way, this was my Discord play. Josh Giddey, under 12 at -130 cashes.
I mean, at this point, though, you know,
Let's
are
go
you
Warriors.
drafting? Are you drafting best available, or are you drafting need based? Right?
No,
I mean,
I think you're basking talent.
yeah,
That's all I would do.
right. I mean, I'm not drafting. I'm not drafting based on need. If the guy that I'm drafting is a bum, like if I need a center and I'm picking 8, and the center that's there is a second rounder.
And this is a freshman
something like
kid
that.
who can pass the ball. He's got size. So I love when they're like, oh, he's got 5 rebounds. You're 6'8" at guard. You better have 5 rebounds. And to me, I don't see a guy with exceptional speed. That's not NBA speed. That's going to beat. He's the white kid, by the way. It looks like a real slow Jason Kidd. Which Jason Kidd turned out to be a Hall of Famer, so who knows? But he looks slow. He looks like Luka Doncic slow, without a shot. Well, Toronto's adding another run.
Need one more here.
This is the last chance if you want to take the draw on the USA Qatar game at plus 110. I mean, right now, the way this is going 0-0 is a high probability. Can't believe this. I mean, they've come out there. I mean, Qatar's played better. But this seems like a game. Someone's going to draw a penalty or a foul early, and that's going to determine the game.
All right. We got, let's see, we got 6
We
runs
got
in
Golden
Red
State
Sox.
Warriors. This is Franz Wagner, Jonathan Kuminga, or to me, I would take Book Night.
Yeah, I just want somebody to help us. I don't really know anybody else besides the top 5. I know who Wagner is though.
Book Night and Wagner is probably the only guy that's probably going to help you right now. I mean, Kuminga should go right back to the G League. He's basically a clone version, a year younger version of Scotty Barnes. He's a jack of all trades, can play great defense, streaky shooter, great size. Struggled to score in the G League. And just how well we've gone. I mean, this is what we're describing as a first-round pick.
Well, I mean, we've seen these years before where there's just, I mean, the draft isn't loaded every year. It isn't loaded every year in every sport.
Oh, it won't be. I mean, next year you're going to have high school kids.
Look at that. That's a great trade right there.
What trade?
Which trade?
The D'Angelo Russell trade. We got 2 first-rounders and Wiggins for bumps.
We've got VAR, baby. We've got a VAR. This would go against the U.S., by the way. This is a VAR for Qatar inside the box. I think he tripped over the ball. Where does he hit him? Oh, he does step out that foot first. He does stick out that foot. That's a really bad decision. Woj says they're trying to trade the pick, but if not, they're taking Kuminga.
Yeah, big dude?
Eventually.
Okay. So he's like Wiseman?
No. He's not that big. I mean, I think he's 6'7", but the kid is one of the youngest players in the draft. This is the question. What are they doing? Here it comes. Here comes the decision.
Well, you're ahead of me, so just let me know.
He gave the penalty. Qatar has a PK.
Ooh, crazy.
I mean, I was telling you there. I like this Qatar team.
He stuck his foot out, so I mean,
he stuck the foot out, and it was a very stupid play by the defender. You don't do that in the box. You don't reach with your outside left foot. And Isner just took control of this set. He's going to beat Sock 2-0. Blue Jays scored again. They're up 6-0. Yep. Shocking. All the guys that I wanted to play are now automatically going to come in the game after Qatar shooting a penalty. Why? Because they realize we need to score. By the way, you can take Qatar live now before the penalty at -138. Golden State cannot find a partner. Nobody wants to give up.
it's all right. We got another pick in a little bit. Somebody's gonna budge.
And here comes the kick. Well, now there's a fight, so no. More pushing and shoving.
Is this guy ready to play?
Kuminga? No.
Yeah. Oh my god. What the hell was that then?
He's explosive, which means, by the way, he can dunk, which is really tough to do in the NBA.
You know what? Whatever. If he's ready next year and not this year, then bring it on.
They took the guy with the most upside. And this is where I said Kuminga, I took the over 7. I told you we're probably going to push on that. And that's what we ended up doing.
So who's next? Wagner?
He missed it. He misses the penalty. Wasn't even close. Missed it high. All right, we get the Magic back. Remember, they already just took Jalen Suggs. This would be beautiful for them if they take Book Night.
Say.
But this might be Franz Wagner.
We lose Sean?
Possibly. I mean, I'm still here.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so Rich, when I didn't know that Max was a rental. I thought he at least had a year or two on him. Now I really don't want him.
No, I think he's like this is the end for him, I think. I mean, they're going for it. They're going for it. They're going for the run. So this is it. I mean, they shoot your shot kind of thing. But
right.
I mean, it definitely would be nice to have Scherzer to pair up with Darvish, and I mean, to be honest, your two best starters are Darvish and Weathers, in my opinion. I mean,
yeah. Well, I mean, Weathers
Paddock
can give us about 4.5. Paddock needs to go to the freaking bullpen.
Paddock is unreliable. Snell is a fucking train wreck. I don't know what's going on there. I mean, I don't know if he's just completely lost his stuff or what, but
He's just going to the strip club too much.
He's so fucking weird looking too. That dude's.
I know. It looks like he's just like up all night. Like I don't know.
Looks like a ghost.
Yeah.
It's like a ghost trying to pitch.
But yeah, when Fox is back, I do have some football bets. The big one that is a reach, not really a reach, I would say, but because we do play week 1, which you did have another say on that, but I took you guys to win the division at a good number.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna get those once the season starts, but to be honest, I would imagine they're probably gonna lose week 1. Not that the game isn't gonna be competitive, but trying to go into KC and win that game week 1 it's gonna be tough. So
yeah, and then depending on Baltimore,
right.
I don't know
And
who the Steelers play. I haven't dug into that, but I just
the Steelers. I don't know that team. They'll figure out a way to fall backwards into 8 wins. They're gonna win 8 games. So it depends on where those 8 wins are gonna come. They're gonna come. I mean, they're gonna win 8 games. It's weird though because this year we've got the extra game. We got 17. They'll play 17 this year.
right. Franz Wagner.
Yeah, Mize looks good. Jump shot, 6 scoreless.
We can't hear you, bro.
Yeah, I think D has some football win total, futures, division winners, stuff like that.
All right, can you guys hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Yep. Sorry about that. Yeah, Franz Wagner. Once again, the Magic do their best to waste first-round picks. Mo Bamba, Jonathan Isaac. I do love.
Yeah, they just got a whole bunch of exotic players.
I mean, to me, Franz Wagner's the same thing. I mean, you have Jonathan Isaac. He's going to play the same position. Mo Bamba's going to play the same position. Wendell Carter is going to play.
It's a team full of forwards.
Cost me 2 picks to miss. All right. USA has a good chance here. We did get a lineup change. Roldan and Zardes, the heroes from the last game, have entered the game. We're at the 66th minute. US has got a nice corner here. So now we go to the Sacramento Kings. You got to take book night. It's the same thing as yield. You're losing yield right in front. It's loose. Oh, right there, box on the door. On the door. Oh, there's a foul. On the doorstep. Corner goes over. He had a goalie collision. He loses the ball. It gets headed back up. Punched out to the side. Kicked back into the box. Goalie hits it on the foot, and they call a foul right before it.
Who is this for? The USA or Qatar?
That was for USA. We had a good chance there. Alperen Sengun is a guy who's going to go earlier than most people thought. Yeah, I agree. I would take James Bouknight too, especially if you're losing Buddy Hield. You're getting the same type player.
No wonder why I can't stream on my computer. This thing is slower than ever, man. I need to get a new computer.
Are you running gig speed for the internet?
I don't have an Ethernet cord to it, no.
No, but you can still run gig speed.
Like, are you
I
running
got that
fiber?
panoramic.
Are you running
Yeah.
fiber optic? Come on, USA. That missed penalty really kind of woke them up. Another corner. Let's go, guys. Come on. Got to finish this off. Don't be socks. You lost 2 sets to none. Come on, jump shot. We need more Tigers runs. 4 is not going to cut it.
I mean, the Orioles could fucking contribute too.
That would be nice.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Ken?
Since
think
the
I'm gonna
US
take this,
changes, we've looked a lot better.
I think I'm going to take this A's team total.
All right, here comes the pick. Oh, gotta be
Maybe on
kidding.
Mitchell,
This is a terrible draft.
kid from Baylor,
Terrible.
right?
Worse, because I had told somebody there was a Blutarsky chance of Davion Mitchell getting drafted in the top 10. So
He's a kid from Baylor, right?
Yeah, it's a kid from Baylor.
Well, somebody watched the NCAA tournament.
You have De'Aaron Fox.
Somebody watched the NCAA tournament and was like, "Hey, I remember this guy. He's good."
You just traded Buddy Hield. You have De'Aaron Fox. You have Tyrese Halliburton. Why the hell would you draft another guard? And a point guard, to be safe.
I mean, that's what the league is. That's what the league is now. It's nobody plays with a full 5. It's 3 guards and 2 forwards. Most teams are 3 guards and 2 forwards. That's just what it is, and everybody can shoot.
Yeah, but if
Everybody's got to be able to shoot threes.
Mitchell can't shoot. He's got speed, just like De'Aaron Fox. You're the fastest guys in the league now.
Well, maybe speed kills. I don't know.
I mean, he plays good defense. There. I mean, watch these highlight rule. You're not seeing a lot of outside shots. I think. Okay.
I mean,
I do
don't
love
know.
right there when you showed in the slow version of him dribbling the basketball and he carries. That's not a good sign. He goes like this. He comes over and he fakes like his hesitation was putting his hand under the ball. Then he goes back up between his legs.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure that Watson plays for anybody this year.
Who?
Deshaun Watson. MT's talking about Texans under 4 total wins.
Well, I mean,
And
that's
the problem is that they're going to play Jacksonville twice.
supposedly his agent said teams are starting to call him about the deal and are interested in trading. Now, a lot of times teams are interested in trading, but they're not interested in meeting what the Texans actually want for him.
They want 3 first-round picks.
Yeah.
3.
They want a Ben Simmons trade.
Nobody's given 3 first-round picks for the guy who might not even be able to play it down in football this year.
Agreed. He does not want to say hi. You just turned off my thing. Yeah, I can tell. Turned off my second monitor. All right in front. Get it out of the box. Come on, get it out of your feet, buddy. Once again, the U.S. put in those 2 starters, and all of a sudden, every time it's one-way traffic. Let's go. Come on. Oh, get through. Get through. Nope. And you got to love when you control the whole team and the other team gets the ball for like 2 seconds. Hey, Brewers scored some more runs. 6-0. Ooh,
Jude,
side
did you
netting.
take the over?
I don't even remember what I have right now. I know I have the over in the Orioles. I think I had the Brewers -1.5.
We got runners on the corners in that Orioles Tigers game. 1 out.
It's been a really nice last 20 minutes of the soccer game. Going end-to-end action. Rich's favorite. Don't play defense.
Oh, no.
Just run up and down. Bad pass. Who got Zaire Williams? This is the first reach of the draft.
I'm going to take
This had to be a trade. Oh, no, this is the Wizards picking for the – okay, yeah. This is the trade isn't finalized till the new season, so it says the Pelicans, but this is the Grizzlies making the deal. This is part of the other.
um 4-1 Tigers, Orioles scored. I'm taking the A's first 5 team total over 2.5.
This is the first. I mean, you were getting an 18.5 on this kid.
Damn.
He gets picked 10th. Oh. This is where I need this pick to be in. Charlotte Hornets.
What's AD sack leader? D.
Aaron Donald.
Oh. Plus 700. 750. Wow.
Toronto scored again. They've got 9.
How is he plus 750? I thought he was the favorite.
He is.
I thought Garrett was like number 2 and he was like 400 something, plus 400, plus 500.
I have to double check. I'm pretty sure that's the number.
All right, let's see. Does the U.S. win this? There. I thought this would go to extra time. I thought both teams would score once. Instead, I'm going to get neither team score.
Yeah, 750. Miles Garrett, 750. TJ Watt plus 800.
Gotcha.
Oh, that's a pretty
no, you know what I was looking at?
Oh.
I wasn't looking at sack leader. I was looking at defensive player of the year.
Okay. You're looking at MVP.
Yep.
Started a good job falling down there. Oh, this is not where I wanted to be in this pick. Davion Mitchell and then Zaire Williams. Those are the two. Really? So essentially, Memphis moved up to grab a player that would have been available had they not traded. That's essentially what it was. Basically means is the guy they looked at 18 was there. My guess is the other guys they want aren't there.
Whoa. Scherzer and Trey Turner to LA.
What?
What?
What the fuck?
Oh, but I did have a trivia question for you, D. You'll love this.
Man, I ain't loving nothing now.
So the Cubs traded Anthony Rizzo, right?
Somebody just peed in D's Cheerios. He don't want to hear it. He don't even care. He's checking out. He's going to the bridge.
Who is the team that gave the Cubs Anthony Rizzo? And
The Padres.
Yep. Who did they get for him? It's not a done deal.
pitcher?
Yet. They did get a pitcher. They got Andrew Kashner and Kyung Min Na.
Oh man,
Yeah, I remember Andrew
Trashner.
Kashner. Yeah.
Trashner, that dude was an auto fade. I love him. He was in.
Oh man.
It's
He
not.
was
It's
in
not.
Baltimore and Boston, I think.
It's not a done deal.
No, none of it's done.
None of
None
these
of
are
it's
done
done.
deals.
No, I wouldn't, because we've got till tomorrow.
Yeah.
We've got till tomorrow is it 4:00 or is it midnight?
I think it's 4:00.
Then this is like the Padres saying, look, well, you know what? We'll trade Drake Cronenworth and we'll take Trey Turner too, and we'll give you some of this too and that. Like, what in the world is going on here?
Dude, this happens in my fantasy football league all the time. Some dude says, we actually had to make rules. We had to make rules so that when we're making trades, the dudes couldn't do this. We had to make a rule that if two guys are talking about making a trade, nobody else can kind of horn their way in on that until they either make the trade or they don't make the trade.
That's the best thing.
That's what's going on right here.
You start to hear that someone's available and what's the offer, and you're like, that offer sucks. I could beat that offer. Yeah. And then, well, I mean, we'd have guys do that in the middle of like vetoing a trade, like working out the secondary offer as we veto the trade. But then what you end up doing is everyone's just vetoing the trade because they don't think any trade should go through. James Bouknight's going to end up on the Horners.
On where?
He's going to end up on the Hornets. The team that has already 17 guards.
I was going to say, how many shooters do they have already?
You have LaMelo Ball.
PJ Washington, Devontae Graham.
You have Terry Rozier. You have Malik Monk. You have Monk's a restricted free agent.
Oh.
It's not going to be Moody. That's Moody looking at his phone.
So, I don't know if this is true, but this is saying that Scherzer actually vetoed the deal to San Diego. He must be...
Man, fuck Scherzer, man.
He must have a no trade. Hey, what's up, man? Yeah, Fox gave out a bunch of draft stuff.
Yeah, Bouknight falls in the laps of Charlotte. He looks so stoked. He looks completely like, really. I mean, he does not look happy.
Oh, they actually do they have him? Do they have him there?
Yeah, they have him
in
in the
draft room. No.
You like Mexico to win? Oh, I assume that's 0.5. I think Canada plays pretty close to the vest with them. I think Mexico wins by 1. I mean, if you can get a 0.5, 0.75 thing where you could win, I think Mexico wins the game. They'll make the finals. Oh, this is killing me.
Yeah, this is killing me too, man.
I'd love to see who's in this. They're saying this deal.
Josiah Gray and Ruiz.
Is that who it is?
Yeah, Ruiz and Josiah Gray's in. Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Those are the guys who are.
Yep. A prospect-laden return coming back to the Nationals from LA.
Jeff.
Another home run from Miggy.
All right, 5-1. Let's go. We still got some more runs. Can we hedge out of
That's some bullshit. Yeah.
What time is it? Oh, it's only 9 o'clock. We got 6 minutes left. We got an over of 7.5 in the Orioles game. Not good. Oh. Well, Keon Johnson cashes because that can't, but that'll cross off Moody. Moody's not going to cash. I need Jones and Springer to cash. It's a terrible pass by Leggett. Can't believe that's the guy you know of is Leggett. All right, 84 minutes. Come on, guys. Get one. I'm at house the U.S. to qualify.
Because what, they got to go to the shootout?
It should be extra time. This should be Sengun. This should be Alperen Sengun. And they've been offering DeRozan to everybody. Go! Xerxes Sardes, Jesse Sardes. Bam! We're up 1-0. 85th minute. There you go, boys. The guy I said who should have started the whole game. Let's see. Back-to-back games. The U.S. has 0 goals. They put in Roldan. They put in Zardes. All of a sudden, they're attacking. Jesse Zardes and the cool white hair gets the steal. Boom! Slid. Gets his foot on it. Bam! 14th goal overall. All right. I don't mind losing my both teams to score here if U.S. wins. I'll take that. This has got to be Alperen Sengun. It's funny. You read on Twitter. Are you guys there? You guys just both stop your camera.
Yeah, I'm here. I just let my dog out.
What was I going to say? Yeah, I forgot totally what I was going to say, but all right.
I think we might have to.
Oh, I know what I was going to say. I was reading on Twitter. They were talking about all these teams are calling teams to trade, and they're all saying not interested.
For the
Holy
draft
cow.
NBA.
This would be the Spurs' highest thing ever. The Spurs are saying they're going to draft Josh Primo.
Who?
I was waiting for someone to say Joshua Primo, shooting guard out of Alabama, supposedly is their pick. He is mocked in every mock I've seen, CBS, Sports, Athletic, Yahoo, into the high 20s, the end of the first round.
Well, I mean, I guess if you've got if there's no clear, if there's no clear, top guys after you get through the first 4 or 5 guys, you draft who you like. If you got to make a pick, you got to pick the guy that you like, I guess. I mean, we see the Raiders do it in football. They always fucking reach.
This should be Alperen Sengun. A guy who was 18 years old and held his own in the Euro leagues. Versus a guy who's a borderline shooter.
I mean,
this is a guy
don't
you
they
take
already have
bottom of the second round.
Don't they already have Keldon Johnson and Devin Vassell?
Yeah.
Aren't those guys basically the same? Aren't they both shooters?
That's a terrible pick.
They really reached?
Yeah. They're all going to say this is a surprise.
But you know what? You never know. I mean, you never know. So you see some of the drafts, you look back 4 or 5 years and you look at some of the guys that were drafted in the top 10, you're like, who are these bums? Then you look at some of the guys that are drafted, 15, 20, 30.
You're right.
Rounders
You're right. You never know. But this is a guy who stands in the corner and gets a shot. He's Buddy Hield. He can be that's not your need. That's not your need. That's not your want. That's not your future. You could have traded down to anybody. Now it's quite possible nobody wanted the trade, but you could have went.
Why wouldn't you?
You could have went into the 20s.
If you wanted somebody like that, why wouldn't you take like a Kispert? I mean, he's basically Kyle Korver 2.0.
I think Kispert, and to me, it's the same thing with Joshua Primo. You didn't see on any of those highlights or any of these things of him creating his own shot. Maybe he does some step backs and he hits that. He doesn't have elite speed. He's not that fast with the basketball. He's not listed as a great ball handler. He's listed as a good outside shooter. But in the NBA, he's going to have a guy in his face.
Right. Ron said walking my goldfish. Be right back.
I saw that. That was one of my favorite things. All right. You guys going to have to tell me what happens to the draft right now because I'm moving over. This is
telling
great.
Me, man. I'm not even watching.
They gave 9 minutes of extra time.
9 minutes.
Oh, damn.
Jeez, that's a lot. All right, we got 7 runs. Baltimore and Detroit.
We got 11. We got 11 in Toronto.
11-0. Boston isn't even scored. Man. I thought this game was going to go over. I didn't think Toronto was going to take it all themselves.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Bad pass. Good.
I mean, it's not like Boston hasn't had opportunities. They've had guys on.
Yep. He had a 4-on-3 break there, and he just passed the ball out of bounds. That was a good pass. Good job.
Man, Baltimore's only got 2 hits. Jeez.
Well, here's the question. Does Baltimore trade Mancini?
I don't think so.
I don't think they
so.
can do it from a PR perspective.
What's his? Is he at the end of his contract?
Chris Duarte will be the pick for Indiana, which will cash her under 15.5, which was said was my favorite play of the day that I gave 2 days ago.
I was wondering. When Duarte was going to go.
Oh,
Milo.
can you stop trying to pan Milo off at 9:15 on me?
Milo.
It's a little early.
It's not early. It's right around 9:15.
Normally it's 10 o'clock.
No, it's not. Come on, baby. Enjoy. Did you see my text they sent you?
Yes, I saw your text you sent me. I'm gonna take that as a hint.
So we are in the Tigers bullpen. So
Milo.
that's a good sign.
All right, there you go. U.S. call, draw a foul.
We're
Draw
in
foul.
both bullpens. Man, 12-0 Toronto. Holy cow.
Oh no! That's expensive.
Oh, what happened to D?
I don't know. I'll be right back.
All right. I think we might have to talk him off the bridge here. Oh, gotcha, D. I'm giving this A's first 5 team total over 2.5.
A's first 5.
First 5 team total over 2.5. They got Dylan Bundy on the mound.
Hasn't it started?
No, it starts in like 20 minutes.
Okay, I'll take that.
I mean, the A's should win that game. I don't know. Frankie Montes has burned me too many times to bet on him. I'll just take the runs.
Oh, I don't get first 5 team totals.
Their full game team total is a fucking 5. Really, that's a lot of runs.
Yeah, they're not even giving me any team totals on that game. They said no. You get.
I mean, the A's should win the game, but I mean, they're minus 160. They're minus 160 to win the game. Even money at the, lay the run and a half. I wouldn't make either of those bets, to be honest.
I'll take him with a UFC play. Oh, come on. Get it, Zardes. Oh, no. He's sitting at the corner. No attempt to gore.
I was going to say, I was just looking at, because we've got 2 games left. I was looking at what you could get parlaying the Padres and the A's. You get plus 121, but they could both lose. They could both lose. I don't like parlaying baseball.
No, I'm going to parlay with Garcia and Nico Montana.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I like the A's to win the game. What was the other thing I wanted to check? The weather.
Give me plus 350.
Yeah, it's actually it's warm there. It's warm there. It's in the low 80s.
Oh, crap. Big giveaway by the U.S. Gets in the box. Oh, it's off frame.
Low 80s, and they got a 10-mile-an-hour wind out to right.
And Moses Moody will go to the Golden State Warriors.
What pick was that?
14.
See, I think he was.
But he's the guy that said they could have got an 8 at their pick at 7 or 8. So I mean,
Yeah.
for the Warriors, that worked out for them, getting him still later. But I guess it's quite possible that they had book night and they had him still showing and saying, okay, well, they're both available, so there's a good chance one of them are going to be available by the time I pick. Now, D likes the Padres' first 5. I was waiting to see how my night went before I took that.
Need to get Funkhauser in there. Jump shot. Musgrove is good. He's been pretty solid, but I don't know. Freeland hasn't been terrible.
Really? You already destroyed him? I just gave you to him. Sorry.
Padres do hit Freeland. 287, 742 OPS. Yeah.
He's missing most of his head. It actually, the way it comes, you can't really even tell because of the eye, but there you can tell pretty good. It's half the eye.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Is that hard plastic?
No, this was just a plushie. He was trying to get it in. He was either going to do that or he was going to go through my mail for me. Everything is trash, according to Milo.
My my dog likes to sharpen, gets into these things and just chews the end. This is the hard plastic thing. This used to be rounded. Yeah, this used to be rounded on the end here, and all of these have been chewed into points. And they actually, some of them
sure he's not
actually
looking to carry that and stab you in your sleep? Is that kind of looks like he's developed a weapon there, his own shank?
I've rolled over on these things before, and they stick you in the side, and it hurts.
Well, I lose by both teams that score, but because Qatar can't kick a penalty.
Baltimore scores on a wild pitch, 6-2.
The U.S. wins, and the U.S. advances. So that's good for me.
Nice.
All right, now we can go back to the draft. Moses Moody just gets picked by Golden State.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good when you
What is this thing? Father Kareem taught him how to play. No shit. Almost every father teaches their son, for the most part, how to play basketball. I mean, that shouldn't be a great thing. Oh, he was all part of the all SEC media team. I like Moses Moody. Again, though, he is a borderline starter role player.
Yeah, Moody was picked, Gerardo. 15th?
14. I believe we're on 14. Yeah, we're back up to the Washington Wizards. Oh, if I'm the Wizards, I'd take Sagoon. But knowing them, they're probably going to take Corey Kispert. Because they drafted Adam Morrison at one time. Why not take the guy who reminds everybody exactly of it, who went to the same school?
Luke Voigt is now out of a job with the acquisition of Anthony Rizzo.
I thought Voigt went to the Cubs.
I don't think so. Yankees are seeking a trade partner for the 2020 AL home run champ.
Oh. I thought he was part of the deal where he went through. So
No, I think it was it LeMahieu?
I will tell the Wizards draft some of the most unathletic guys ever. How do I say this nicely? They're not afraid to draft white guys. Though a lot of them have not worked out, especially foreign players. Avija looks like he's going to be solid.
Yeah, Denny Avdia looks good.
But who was the guy that flamed out?
Well,
picked in the mid 2015, 16. Was a defensive type guy. What was his name?
now you're gonna have to look it up.
Yeah, I am. They drafted him like 7th overall, too. Who am I thinking of? I mean, if you look at their draft picks, and you do have to wonder sometimes who in the world's been drafting for them. Jan Vesley, that's what his name was, 2011.
Oh my lord!
6th overall.
I don't even remember that. I don't even remember that name.
So since 2010, here's the Wizards draft. You took John Wall and Lazar Hayward. Lazar Hayward out of the league there. You took Chris Singleton and Shelvin Mack. Mack was a solid guy. You took him in the 2nd round. He was better than your 1st round guy. And he stayed in the league for 13, 14 years. Then you took Jan Vesley. That was your first pick in that round. That draft was Shelvin Mack was better than your 1st round pick number 6 and your pick number 18. Then you took Beal and Satoransky, probably your best draft ever. Then you took Otto Porter and Arslama Kazemi. Okay, Otto Porter's solid. Then in 2014, you took Jordan Clarkson with your 2nd round pick and then traded him. That was a smart move.
I was gonna say Clarkson. Did he ever play for them?
No. And then you took Jerian Grant and Aaron White in 2015. Grant was a terrible reach. He's just a senior point guard on the Notre Dame team that played well, but he was not. Then Aaron White, none of those guys played. Troy Brown Jr. and Esaf Sanone. Okay, Brown Jr. is a role player. Then you took Hachimura, solid player, I like. Then you took Avicii and Vit Krejci, who's yet to play. I mean, you took what? 1 star, 3 borderline players, 2 2nd rounders that were better than your 1st rounders. So why are we doing the Terrence Clark thing? Didn't he is that because he passed on? Yeah, he died in April.
The guy that was shot or what?
Car accident. I don't think they would honor the guy that was shot.
Still died.
He still died.
It depends on the circumstances.
Andrew, are you gonna help with Milo at all tonight? Nope. I'm bringing Milo in your room. Because it's your turn. Mom, yeah, and I will pick him up at 10 o'clock. He's not gonna bark. He's barking. That's all he can't stop doing.
Yeah, this is sad. They're showing Rizzo leaving Wrigley for the last time. All these fans out there waiting for him. Yeah, Yeah, Gerardo. I think I don't know exactly what happened, but the one thing I read was that Scherzer actually vetoed the trade to the Padres. And that may or may not be true, or it may have just been the Dodgers coming in with a better trade. Remember, we've got another 20 hours or so left on the before the trade deadline hits here. So I don't think anything's in stone yet, but it sounds like Trey Turner and Scherzer to the Dodgers. It sounds like the Dodgers are probably going to give him a haul. So
Okay, so Corey Kispert will be the
What does it mean to be made true? It means being made to stand the test of time.
which
what is that?
the story that I was reading about Terrence. You know how it runs in a commercial.
Right.
So the Orioles going to score here. Oh, the Tigers are up. I do like that the Tigers are minus 30,000.
How's that golf going, MT? That's the Olympic stuff. I think I saw Rory. I saw clips of Rory playing either today or yesterday. I don't know when it was, either yesterday or today. And I think it was the first time that I've ever seen Rory play without a hat on.
Well, Rory's plus 800 right now.
Is he?
Yeah. I mean, is this match play?
I think
How
it's
is
individual. I
That would
think it's
be match
individual play.
that? So it's just whoever has the best score.
I think. I think they're playing it just like a regular tournament, 4 rounds. Oh, MT's saying stroke.
Yeah, my leaderboard is showing me a bunch of guys that aren't even playing. So I don't know. So who does MT13 like? Rory?
Victor Hovland.
Hovland at plus 450?
Well, that's what he called out in the chat there.
Okay, I'll take Victor Hovland. I mean, those are the only two guys that decent. Nine. Does he like a long shot? There's some 3,000 long shots that are like in 5th place. I generally like that. Like, I can pour that in with will Toronto score over 18 runs this game?
All right, looks like the Scherzer to the Dodgers deal is done. Let's see what the details are here.
The detail is D is passing out next to you. That is the details.
No, he when we started talking about it, he left. I don't blame him. I would be pretty upset too. Let's see. Josiah Gray.
And Ruiz are part of it.
Keibert Ruiz, yeah. That's Josiah Gray and Keibert Ruiz are pretty solid. Those are guys that can come in and play now or next year. I mean, they're big league ready.
Yeah, Rosenthal said.
Who else? I thought there was somebody else in here.
Yeah, is it? It's pending physicals. That's all it is. The deal is done. I mean, everyone's asking, can he veto the Dodgers too? He was a little late in vetoing the Padres deal. Why can't he just come on and veto? I want to go to the Astros. But apparently he said he would veto any trade to the Astros. So he kind of named places he wouldn't go. He ruled out Houston and Philly.
Really? I mean, I'm questioning. I don't know. I'm questioning
Because
why
has
he
10
would.
years in the league. That's what was his spot. Michael, I mean, it's not a location. It's like, do you want to be in LA or do you want to be in San Diego?
I mean, personally, I would. Personally, I'd rather be in San Diego. But
Yeah.
I mean, maybe he's thinking about. I mean, he is
We have
only.
a trade
He
to
is,
announce. Oklahoma City will be trading the 16th pick.
oh, he said he was going for a beer.
I'm trying to see what I still have valid in draft lines that are still up that haven't cashed out. Jaden Springer, Kai Jones, Keon Johnson, but I took Keon Johnson for 2.5 units over 10.5. I thought that was an absolute joke. OKC is getting 2 future first-round picks for the 16th pick in this crappy draft.
Who could they possibly? Who are they trading with?
OKC is trading with Houston.
Who could they possibly be taking?
The only guy I could think I would take would be Sengun.
I mean, it has to be somebody who's fallen, right?
Well, yeah, Sengun's
Otherwise,
the
this
one.
deal would have been done before.
Yeah, Sengun's one of the guys who is fallen. If they take Kai Jones, they need to just be taken to the back and just shot. It just, I mean, Sengun is the highest player that's fallen. Some guys like Keelan Johnson, but Jalen Johnson would be another guy. But you got to remember Oklahoma City picks 2 in a row.
Yeah, I see. Best
So for
available.
them, trading down is there. I mean, this has got to be Sengun. You can take Jalen Johnson, but the guy quit on his team at Duke is not a guy I want to go ahead and go put money around.
Yeah, the overall best available I see is Keon Johnson, Jalen Johnson, Usman Garuba.
Garuba's a guy I think will be picked in the low 20s, but who knows? This draft has been kind of fun.
Alperen Sengun, Sharif Cooper, Trey Murphy, Cam Thomas, Isaiah Jackson, Kai Jones, Jared Butler. Yeah.
Hold on, I'm just looking at what I got open right now. Sorry. Because I had a lot of USA Mexico, so I want to make sure after today I walk away with something. And right now I can
He says he likes.
And right now I can get Canada plus a goal, so that's generally big. This is what I think Mexico will win by, but it will allow me a complete hedge. I like this Canada team. I don't think they're better than Mexico, but I like this Canada team. I mean, to me, it's. I mean, I can tell you who it is because Woj will probably already say it. And I mean, Sengun held his own. He's a true forward center. Again, I think we could have a totally different league with this whole foul thing. It could be totally different. There he goes. Sengun goes to the Houston Rockets. And that's the only move you make because you essentially say this guy was a lottery guy. I'm getting in the bottom end of my lottery. This guy played his own versus the best second-rate teams there versus elder players. He had the highest analytics of any other player. He's got tremendous upside, tremendous rebounding size. He's got a bunch of things written in his jacket.
Well, that's what you were saying. You know, you knew if they were trading up, had to be going up to get somebody that they didn't expect to be there.
Yeah, and Houston has a ton of draft. So, I mean, when I look at Houston and I look at their former first-round picks that they have available, they had one that's most likely going to come from Brooklyn for next year.
Don't you fucking start MT.
What?
Here, check out I changed my avatar.
All right. Okay. So we're gonna talk about the Guardians. I thought we already went through the embarrassment on Saturday.
Yeah, we talked about it. It's been discussed. My position is still the same. You know, I'm still gonna call them the Indians. I'm more concerned with the state of the team than anything else. I mean, they traded Cesar Hernandez today, which is fine. It is what it is. I don't really care. But there's other pieces.
I'm not a big Cesar Hernandez guy.
Me either. And that's why it doesn't really matter. He's 31 years old. By the time this team is contending again, he's going to be gone. So you might as well, put him on a contender. They sent him to the White Sox. They obviously don't give a fuck. They obviously don't care about trading him inside the division. So, I mean, he's not a world beater. He's a halfway decent hitter, and he's a good defensive second baseman. The White Sox had a need because, they had to fill a need because Madrigal got hurt.
Okay, so let me go over to how stupid Houston is. Okay, and I'm sure maybe they tried and they got there. Houston's got a 2022 first-round pick from either Brooklyn or Miami, whichever's better. They got a 2022 pick from Detroit. They've got a 2023 pick from Brooklyn, of course, first round. They also have one from Milwaukee. They also have one from Washington. Then they have a 2024 from Brooklyn and a 2025 from OKC or Brooklyn. So out of those, they traded 2 picks. Which 2 picks do you think they traded?
The Brooklyn pick.
That would make most sense because you assume they're going to be a top team. So I'm trading you a pick that's going to be 26 or higher.
Right.
They traded Detroit's pick next year, which is pretty much going to guarantee you'll be in the lottery again.
It should be a top 10 probably.
And then they chose the Wizards pick in 2023. It's like if you could trade 2 of your worst first rounders you would pick of all those picks, they said, yeah, we'll give you both of those. I mean, the Detroit pick is terrible. I mean, unless you've got major protections on this, giving up that pick, that's like having like the old Nets pick of like where the Celtics held on forever, and it was top 4 protected. It was top 4 protected. We got the Nets pick, and
Right.
never would make any trade. It would come through. I think they missed their window.
Well, here we go. Cash it in the first inning. Athletics, 3 runs.
OKC not only trades the 16th pick, then New Orleans, remember getting the Memphis pick. The Pelicans select Trey Murphy. You want to give out your second who? Trey Murphy is the kid that transferred to Virginia last year. He's a good 3-point shooter. He can hit outside shots.
I don't get a ring that bell for
Yeah, you
that
do.
A's team total that just cashed.
Yeah, you do. No, we'll definitely give you that. Ring that bell. Great job, Rich. I wish I could tell you because I wish I had that play. They took all the team total away on the first 5. I had nothing. So you get 3 runs already in the first inning. Good job. I'm taking the Orioles game. We did not win.
Is it over?
It's off the board. I assume it's over.
But they were in the 9th.
It's 6-2. It's over.
Damn.
Oh, the Brewers are up 9-0.
Well,
Twatty's team total cashes pretty easily.
that was a 4-4 for me. I guess it could have been a lot worse the way the afternoon fucking started. God. That Yankees game.
We got
1.5 runs.
We got Mexico and Canada getting ready to start. I like Mexico to win. I like them to win -1. It's Canada's good team. I don't think they're going to get blown out. They're probably going to stick around for a while. Looking to see who's playing. My guess is Buchanan's going to start. But what I thought was going to happen for the U.S. didn't happen either, so who knows? I do love when you look up guys, and Junior Hoylett's going to play. He's he used to play in the Premier League, the English Forward League. I mean, he's a solid player who's played very good competition. One of their big scorers. Buchanan does play. Tayshaun Buchanan comes over there and plays the outside mid. Osorio plays as well. The only funniest thing is when you see what the guy Canada starts up top is Akindele. Akindele is listed as a defender on his own team, but he plays forward for his national team. You always kind of go, huh?
Youngest player in the draft is off the board at number 12, Joshua Primo, only 18 years old, headed to the Spurs.
He's the oldest player like by 3 weeks.
You're getting an awesome high upside player a year early as a draft pick before he might be totally ready to play in the NBA.
What is this? The thing on Sagoon?
No, Primo. That's from the Athletic.
I don't see it. I see you're getting a solid role player. I don't see the handles. I see a shot. High ceilings, Buddy Hield. I'm going to tell you to take a look at that, and then you're going to look at like Keon Johnson, who hasn't been picked yet, okay?
Yeah.
And hasn't been selected. So, I mean, I don't see much difference between Keon Johnson and Joshua Primo. I mean, you got OKC here. This could be Jalen Johnson being available here. This could be Kai Jones. So we'll cash that pretty easily. Kai Jones, we actually already cashed because it was, hey, the Red Sox scored. It's 13-1. Woo, 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 woo. This also could be a lot of people as like this Ubin Garuba.
Yeah.
Cameron Thomas is another interesting name. But again, this is what I said about this draft. You get out of the lottery, and even the guys we've been talking about in the lottery, these guys are role players at best. I mean, this draft is terrible. What's Shane Lowry live?
Yeah, that's what MT's asking.
Oh, for in golf?
Golf probably.
Shane Lowry is plus 2,800.
Pretty good price.
Fuck, it just went off the board. And the pick is in. This has got to be Jalen Johnson. No, this is Cade Cunningham again. I was like, wait, I know who that is. I mean, I love when the NBA just drafts a guy because he can make a three. Especially when you can make a three in college. Doesn't necessarily guarantee you can make a three in the NBA. Oh, boy. Here comes OKC reaching again. The pick is in. I'll tell you who it is. It's because of probably his brother did so well, so they decided to go ahead and pick him. Trey Mann, once again, drafted about 10 spots early. Trey Mann will be going to OKC at number 18. All right, here we go. It's back up. So is he telling me to take Shane Lowry at 2,800? Or am I taking Shane Lowry for the round? All right, and it doesn't matter. I took him. I threw $5. At 2,800, I threw $5.
Trey Mann played where?
Trey Mann played for the University of Florida State. He actually stayed at school. He didn't actually require it. No, Trey Mann played for Florida. Sorry. Trey Mann's a good, solid player. But, again, he's not anything special. He's a dime a dozen every year. You get 14,000 Trey Manns.
The amount I wish that I had even a fraction of the optimism of some of these people that talk about this Indians team like they were fucking had a chance to go anywhere. Like,
I told you in the beginning of the year they sucked.
What's that?
I told you in the beginning of the year they sucked.
I told you they weren't going to be any good either.
I knew you were not on your Indians. Well, the Knicks have traded out of the 19th pick. They're going to get a pick for next year. So if you're waiting for the Knicks to make the selection, you're on the clock for 365 more days and probably a couple.
I mean, at this point, unless there's somebody that you really like, if somebody's calling, teams are calling and offering you picks to trade out. If there's nobody you like, you might as well trade out.
So remember when we made the thing with Charlotte, and Charlotte screwed us because they took somebody I wasn't. They took Book Knight, right?
Yeah.
They're going to turn around and take Kai Jones here. So Trey Mann gets selected here, but the next pick is already known. It'll be Kai Jones, which means you just drafted 2 shooting guards. just in case one doesn't work out. That really worked well when you drafted Malik Monk and who else did you draft that year? You drafted somebody else. That was also a guard. Oh, they the kid from Dwayne Bacon.
Mm.
You drafted Malik Monk in the first round and drafted Dwayne Bacon in the second round. That's really worked out when you've have two guys that play the same position. Well, ESPN finally got one right. They had Kai Jones going to the Knicks, but he didn't go to the Knicks. He went to the Hornets. But we do cash our Kai Jones over 10. So actually, I even gave over 15. We doubled down today, didn't we? I think I did. Yeah. Because we had the 10, and then I came back down, and I hit the 15 again today, and then gave the 15. Yeah, I got plus 120 on that over 15. Guy Jones goes 19th. That's another show casher. So both teams, the score doesn't hit. Kuminga doesn't hit because it draws. Kai Jones hits. The other two are still active. It is 10 o'clock, so it means I have to shift computers. Hold 1 second.
Yeah, MT.
There we go. We'll take that.
That was a lot louder than what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, sorry. I get stoked to draft night. It's like my favorite. I'm like a kid in the candy store. I enjoy draft more than it's there because one, I could tell people that they were stupid. You drafted the wrong guy, based on my extensive knowledge. I don't
really get super into the NBA draft. I like NFL draft. I like a lot better. I'm not sure where the course is, MT. I know they're in Tokyo, but I don't know if it's, could be an hour, could be 2 hours away or whatever. I would imagine the weather I saw yesterday was like 89 degrees and it was like 75 or 80% humidity, something like that. It was insane.
Yeah, the first guy passed out.
Yeah,
that was going to be very interesting. All right, so we're going mobile here. Oh,
and you got to figure those guys that were complaining about the heat with the tennis and that, they're playing on whatever hard surface or whatever. It's probably reflecting the heat. It's probably is like playing on blacktop. It's probably like playing on pavement. It's probably extremely hot coming off of that surface.
All right, we're down out of the office.
Whoop. We lost Fox. 2 hours. There you go. Ken's got it. 2 hours away from the Olympic Village. So it's a little bit, it's a little ways away from where they're at, but I wonder what that course is they're playing.
I had the course listed. I'll show you in a second.
The Olympic golf course is Kazumiyageski Country Club.
Now with these two picks in the first round, they got to think that they're going for it.
Again, LaMelo Ball is one of those players that you can kind of point to very early on in his career, but players will want to play with him, and that is key, especially when you're talking about.
Hovland's back up to plus 600. Lowry up to plus 3,300.
Older than Augusta National.
All right, does he got another play? Because Lowry's going the other way. What about Xander Shoffley?
1929.
How's Rory doing? Hold 1 second. I gotta go get Milo.
Yep. Well, it's still pretty. It's still pretty hot there. It is Friday morning, right? It's Friday morning there right now. It is 11 a.m. It's 83 degrees and 93% humidity. It is not raining. That's pretty crazy. I mean, you normally don't see humidity totals that high unless it's actually raining. It probably is going to rain at some point, I would imagine. 93% humidity is pretty insane. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Damn. 12-0 Brewers. 16 hits.
All right.
So I looked up the weather for that country club
Yep.
where they're playing the golf. It's 11 o'clock. I mean, it's tomorrow morning there. It's 11 o'clock. It's 83 degrees and 93% humidity.
I mean, it's still in the morning, so whoever plays in the afternoon is going to die.
I mean, normally you don't see humidity that high unless it's raining or unless it's about to rain.
All right.
I mean that's insanely high humidity.
All right, we're running out of picks. This is the one thing for a Jackson pick, which I'm not liking. Jalen Johnson will go here. I mean, I do love that Atlanta's trying to trade Cam Reddish after his miracle game that he last played.
He was hurt most of the season, right?
Yep. But that's a smart move. Okay, what's in everyone's mind? He just had a really good game, and he just really played well, and he scored. And really, we have DeAndre Hunter, so he's not going to start anyway. So we knew eventually we were probably going to try to move him. So why not do it after his biggest game of his career?
Yeah. I mean, I really need Reddish to have a decent, at least a decent season or something.
This guy just said this guy reminds him of Boris Diaw.
That's not a good thing.
He's a solid player, but
Okay,
again, it's I mean,
it's a first round draft pick for a man.
Yeah, journeyman.
What, six? Not even 6 man, probably.
That you're going to play first round money to.
Right.
I mean, that's the biggest thing with these. I mean, there's times where I would look at a guy and go, "Look, you're just not really a first rounder."
Kind of wish the Cavs would have kept Kevin Porter Jr.
Yeah, that. Who'd they get for him?
I don't really think they got anybody, or not much. He had character issues or whatever. He was causing issues in the locker room supposedly.
Yeah, and they just kind of let him go. But that's what you tell a guy: just be an idiot. As soon as you stop being an idiot, to be like, okay, well, all right, you'll get traded and you'll be able to be released and go to place there. I mean, him and Jalen Green are going to be very good. So
yeah,
there's still a guy in the green room. I love when they always have a guy stuck in the green room. On the 21st pick, we still have a guy stuck in the green room.
Who is it?
I don't know. I was trying to figure that out. I was going to look on Twitter. I'm sure I'll be able to find it.
Yeah, Twitter be wilding.
All right, the reported list of green ring. There was Deion Johnson. He's still in the green room. Cam Thomas still in the green room. Isaiah Jackson still in the green room. We need Jackson to get picked here so we can push. I'm trying to figure out who's picking. We're so far ahead of where they're showing on the screen. Yeah, you can't pass on a kid who quit on his team. I mean, that's definitely what you want. And this is the Knicks here. Can the Knicks take Isaiah Jackson? They could. I could also take Harumba here, too.
Harambe?
Karumba. It's yeah. He's got defensive issues and he needs to improve his shooting stroke. Other than that, he's ready to win the league. Oh, we catch Karumbe because I took the over 16. Okay, that's what I gave today. See, do you hear what he said? It's like the pick is really Washington's, but it's still fun to show the Lakers.
Who said that?
Reese.
what is that? Reese Davis? Reese, what's his name? What did we get in trouble for showing it?
Yes, people, you heard correctly. Mooshmallow shots. We need to get some quick, fast, this bottle of body so
The beach has always been there for us.
All right. So I was going to show you the ending of that thing I showed you, since I'm now at the thing where I have it. Oh. Any live looks that you're looking at?
No, I mean we've only got the Rockies Padres game is on now. I mean these other two games are done. A's Angels. Let's see, Rockies. Rockies got a guy on. They just started. 1 on, 1 out, top of the first.
So that was the
We'll keep an eye out there.
TikTok hot dog thing I was talking about earlier today. Thing looks so good.
Oh.
It's a hot dog rolled up in dough. It's too bright. I'm trying to work on the brightness.
Like some kind of a croissant or something.
Yeah, you kind of turn it into croissant. Where's the other cool food thing? It's so funny when you talk to this one guy. One of the biggest TikTokers is a guy who basically just someone shows you how to do a hack, and then he goes and he shows you like the real simple, normal way that everyone does it. He's like, and he goes, and the guy makes $48,000 a month on TikTok. He's one of their favorite people.
Really?
Yeah. Ortiz is going off. Okay. So you like that? One of the seasoning is just pouring a can of your favorite beer.
Oh, there you go.
It's like when you put in the smoker, make sure you have your favorite beer underneath them.
Wow.
So
the Vegas Golden Knights have traded Ryan Reeves to the Rangers.
Oh, there we go. So there's the bacon sausage with cheddar cheese in the middle.
That looks good.
Oh, that looks wonderful. It's like, that's why I joke with my wife. I was like, I'm going to end up being like 1,000 pounds. Oh. There's been a lot of big trades. I mean, the Knights basically traded with Fleury. They traded, they're going with Lehner for the year. Thought it was an interesting move since he's been the face of the franchise for forever.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a couple things. I think it's a money thing. I think it's a Fleury being at the end of his contract thing. And I think it's a they want one goalie. They don't want to. I think they're probably tired of having a controversy.
Well, you can't pay for that to continue. You can't pay 2 starting goalies, especially with the salary cap, which is a true cap and not a luxury thing and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I was surprised at how. I mean, I've only actually watched hockey for like maybe 4 years, 4 or 5 years, so I haven't really followed it super close up until recently. But I was surprised at the contracts. The hockey contracts are so small.
Yeah,
I mean, they're talking
compared
about
to all the other leagues. It's not even close.
No.
I mean, it's soccer makes more money.
Ovechkin's mega deal was like $45 million.
But that's why they had to when they had that lockout like 10, 12 years ago. So this is funny because the Knicks fans are all clapping right now because they drafted Keon Johnson, right? You know, he projected to go 10th to 12th. Most of the Knicks fans don't know this pick is being traded to Charlotte because Charlotte just decided they need more guards. Sorry, this is being going to the Clippers. Sorry. But Wojo also said this was also being traded to Detroit. So, and the Clippers. I'm not sure how he's trading out to both teams. Oh, he wrote to clarify. It is going to Clippers. Clippers will send the number 25th pick to New York and a future second-round pick. So all the Knicks fans right now that are excited, because this is the guy I said, okay, look at this guy versus what you got with Joshua Primo. Mm-hmm. This guy's more athletic. He's had a better year than Joshua Primo did. The one thing, he's not as good as a shooter than Primo is.
Mm-hmm.
So we lose the Jackson bet. Damn it. But I gave Keon Johnson over 10.5 a long, long time ago. I like this kid. I think he's going to be very good for the Clippers.
Well, I think you see a lot of kids. A lot of times, just like basketball is just the same as any other sport. The situations are, situations and coaching and teams around, the team around them and stuff. It matters. Like it matters a lot.
That's why a lot of guys get so excited because they're like, oh, the guy had a great pick because he scored 20 points a game. He scored 20 points a game because there was no one else to score.
Right.
Your team sucked. And that's the Colin Sexton thing. Is Colin Sexton that good?
Sure.
Or is he a Robin and someone else has to be Batman? And you have a question of, do you want to pay Colin Sexton big time money when you're not? And that's what makes a lot of these young teams fall in because you drafted him high. Yeah. You have to make a decision. You thought at that time, and he's turned into he's a good player. There's no doubt about Colin Sexton as a starter
he's a good
on most
player.
teams.
Yeah.
What?
He's just a good player.
He's not a max player.
I don't think so. I wouldn't max him. There's 15 other guys in this draft that could probably give you the same thing he can.
Yeah. That's where sometimes if you're Cleveland, if you're not trading him, your deal is to let him go to restricted free agency if someone else is going to give him max. Maybe no one else balks and give him a max deal.
I mean, I feel like there's quite a few guys in the league that kind of do the same thing that he does.
There's 100 guys in the league.
And some teams have two, right? Some teams have two guys that do the same thing that he does.
Yeah, I mean, to me, Terrence Ross is not that much of a different player. I'd put Terrence Ross. I told you Terrence Ross would have been the number one guy I traded for at the trade deadline.
With the 22nd pick in the 2021 NBA draft, the Los Angeles Lakers select Isaiah Jackson.
Jackson goes 22 instead of 21. By the way, this is not the Lakers pick. This is the Wizards pick.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, this is from the.
This will be from the Westbrook
deal.
Yep. He played with LaMelo Ball. Great. When he was 9th grade. I mean, he's a defensive guy. He doesn't have a great offensive game. Kentucky wasn't that good this year.
Right. No, they weren't. Yeah, I mean, it was the, if you're talking about guys that that are, it's the Robin, right? It's the guy that can score, but he's not really, he's not going to win you a championship by himself or whatever. That was Kyrie, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we had it with Kyrie. We had Kyrie for 2 or 3 seasons before LeBron came back, and those teams were 20, 25 win teams. I mean, those teams were no fucking good.
No.
So, I mean, Kyrie he's a great player, great shooter, great scorer, great in the clutch. He was, ice in his veins or whatever. But I mean, he's not going to win you 50 games.
No, not at all.
So.
He's a long-term guy. Okay, you're looking down the road. What is he going to be in 2-3 years?
I mean, but here to me, you drafted a worse version of Daniel Gafford, who Gafford was a second-round pick. The Wizards just took with the first round. So the biggest thing knock against Isaiah Jackson is he doesn't have bulk. He doesn't have size. I mean, I don't know. I see Norland's Noel 2.0. Not just because they both went to Kentucky. A guy's going to help on the defensive end, but I don't know. There's guys I would have took better. Again, I'm bigger on Day'Ron Sharpe than most of the forwards in this draft. Did you see G.I. Joe's killer box office numbers for Snake Eyes? They did a 13 million.
What is it?
Snake Eyes box office numbers were terrible. 13.
Oh, really? G.I. Joe?
Yep. Did you see what Jump Shot posted in the NBA chat? 2021 NBA mock draft comedy version. Pistons, hopefully not Darko Milicic. The Rockets,
Oh my gosh,
anyone who won't miss 27 threes in a row. Cavaliers, they'll trade his locker anyway. The Raptors, a player glad to be not play with Sexton. 5, Magic, an athletic, unskilled player.
Well, there you go. Nailed that one.
Thunder, a future MVP to trade away. The Warriors, someone who doesn't miss. The 8, nobody cares. The Magic. 9, the Kings, a wasted career. 10, the Grizzlies, a dirty player. The Hornets will take another ball brother. The Spurs, a painfully average player. The Pacers will never hear of him again. Don't worry. The Warriors will draft a back brace for Steph. The Wizards, a player to rebound Russ's misses. 16 was the Thunder will trade down for 2027 picks. The Pelicans will take anything to make Zion happy. The Thunder will take a horrible overseas player. The Knicks will take another fan favorite who turns out to be a bust. The Hawks will take a guy who needs hair loss treatment. The Knicks will take a summer league god. 22 is a wannabe fashion icon for the Lakers. The Rockets will take a 6'2 center.
6'2 center.
Then the Rockets again will take a player with attitude issues. The Clippers will take a team counselor. The Nuggets will take any unknown European player. Usman Garaba will be picked here by Houston. The Nuggets will someone with small feet will be the Nets. The Sixers will then take someone who can't shoot. The Suns will take anyone who can guard Giannis, and the Jazz will take a tolerant fan base.
That's funny.
That's great.
That's pretty spot on, don't they? I think the Thunder did trade down for picks.
They did, but they had 3 first-round picks in a terrible draft. So I don't blame them for trading down to picks. San Diego scores first when Colorado had almost the bases loaded in the first. So Tatis got the RBI for Tommy Pham.
I think didn't we had the first 5, right?
Yeah.
Padres first 5.
So we lose both teams to score, push Kuminga, lose Jackson, hit Kai Jones. We need the Padres to hit the ticker. Usman Garuba.
The Jays and the Red Sox are still freaking playing.
I like this guy, but again, another 6'8" power forward. Once again, another young guy has been playing with adults. But again, he's 6'8". It's going to be different when you're playing 6'10s. Yeah, this guy is playing in a game tonight. Oh, by the way, that's something I do like, which is official play. I like the U.S. to cover the 20.
In what, basketball?
Yeah.
Who are they playing?
Japan. I need to take that before I miss it.
Did you hear about KBO?
No, what happened with KBO?
Well, they could be canceling after the Olympics are done. They're discussing whether or not to cancel the league because there was a few guys from the Dinos violated COVID protocols, and then there was an outbreak on the Dinos, and then there was an outbreak on I think the Bears, Doosan as well, because they played Doosan after they violated the protocols. So now it's the owners were in discussions. I don't think they've made a decision yet, but they're pretty sure they're going to cancel the rest of the season. That's the difference.
Is that why we've had no KBO plays? I mean, they've got huge COVID issues.
So this happened about 10 days before they were going on hiatus. This happened right around the time of the MLB All-Star break. So it happened about 10 days before they were going on the break for the Olympics, right? Korea's playing, they have a Republic of Korea has they've got an Olympic team. So those guys they go play in the Olympics or whatever. So they were going on a hiatus for the Olympics anyway, but this was like 10 days before that they shut everything down, and they said they would be in discussion over these next couple weeks whether or not they were going to cancel the league. It's at the I guess it's at the owners. It's in their COVID protocols or whatever. It's at the owner's discretion. They'll meet and have a vote, I guess.
Crazy.
Yeah, pretty crazy considering they didn't have anything more than what we had with the Nationals yesterday, and they were just like, yeah, we're just going to play today. We had 15 guys test positive for it. Yeah, we're playing today. Those guys just aren't playing. We're just going to play these other guys.
Gerardo, Isaiah Jackson will go to the Wizards. He's part of the Westbrook deal. I took a shot with Connors in Vegas. Oh, we're talking
golf. That's going to be an interesting dynamic. LeBron, Westbrook.
Other team I like. He's going to be another official play. I like the Brazil women to win in soccer. And I like a duo of Great Britain and Sweden. So a nice little Great Britain Sweden double. We'll play plus 150. I will put these up and I'll put them on the chat so everybody knows them. All right, let's see the other play. All right, both of those are official plays. Nothing like some early morning Olympic action. 4 a.m. if those of you want to stay up for it.
I kind of wish these damn Olympics are on the other side of the freaking world, and you know what happens. You find out what happens in the morning, and then you get to see it at night or whatever. I'm not a huge fan of that.
I watch it in the morning.
I know. I don't have Peacock or any of that. NBC Sports or wherever they're streaming it at.
They're just on the regular. It's on USA, MSNBC.
Yeah, but I don't have cable.
Oh, why don't you have cable? We talked about this. That's terrible.
Because cable's expensive.
It's not that. Right now with my internet, cable's like $10.
The last time I had cable, it was $200 just for the cable.
I'm paying $100.
And that was like 4 years ago. 3 or 4 years. It's been since 2016 or 2017 since I've had cable.
Yeah, I'm paying $100 for gig speed connection and my cable service.
Yeah, we don't have gig available here. Actually, I've got friends. I was just talking about this recently. How you don't have to live too far outside of a city to have basically DSL as your only option for internet. DSL or satellite. Like I've got friends that live like 20 minutes from me that have their only options DSL.
Houston just drafted a guy that isn't mocked in the first.
Who was
This
it?
is Josh Christopher out of Arizona State. Good player. He was a highly recruited freshman. Didn't have the year that he was supposed to. Got hurt a lot. Okay, he's a scorer that shoots 43% from the field. That's terrible. I love when they say he just needs to take better shots. You know what the hardest thing to teach a player to do? Take better shots.
Know when you should be passing the ball.
I kind of am tempted to take France minus 28 versus Iran.
Who played?
Iran is terrible.
Who played? Did the USA just play them? Somebody just played Iran, didn't they? Yesterday?
Yeah, they covered the 50.
And France is pretty good. The problem with France is that their games are probably low scoring. What's the number they got to cover?
28.
Mm.
I'm taking the 28.
Probably rather, well, yeah, 20. I'd probably look at the under, too.
You want me to put
Just for,
2 units on a stinking basketball game? I'm not putting 2 units on this basketball game.
well, France plays really solid defense.
Oh, you're killing me. They do play solid defense, but that's not the I mean, they've got Gobert in there. That's why they play solid defense, because teams are afraid to drive it inside. So
I mean,
agree.
I know how low scoring that game was against the U.S., and I'm assuming that the U.S. has got better shooters and better scorers than Iran.
You think?
But
they've
also got better defenders. U.S. also has better defenders than Iran, so there's a chance that France could end up scoring a ton of points too.
Everyone scores a ton of points versus Iran.
So
there's a reason I'm taking it. Fine, I'll take the damn under. That's a terrible pick. It's only 5 points off the U.S. title, just to let you know. The U.S. are 162 and France is 157.
Total?
Yes.
You've got to figure that goes under, right? I mean, they're playing 10-minute quarters.
All right. This is going to be your favorite pick of the draft tonight, right here by the Denver Nuggets. Are you ready?
Yeah.
I'll give you 18 guesses if you can name where you went to school.
Where he went to school?
Yes. Bones Highland.
I have no fucking clue what that is.
Come on, you're the college basketball guy. You and Shocks.
Oh, wait, that's the name of the player?
Yes, Bones Highland.
Jesus. I mean, it's a school that we know, I'm assuming.
It's a school you know, yes. I'm not giving you like Carroll College. Like, oh, you didn't get Carroll College?
VCU.
VCU is correct. You had to look that up.
Oh. No, I didn't. That was a guess.
You pulled that. Okay, that's good.
No. Here.
VCU, yes.
Okay, so you know what happened? So earlier when I was looking at the list of overall available players or whatever, I was just scrolling through, and it gives you the colleges, and I just happened to look. I was looking at the colleges to see who, what schools the kids were going to, and there were just a few. It was like there were a few that weren't like the bigger schools or overseas, and VCU was one of them. It was like VCU. I think there was a kid in there from, Preston from OU. There's a kid in there from Bonaventure, I think.
You see FSU came out there and asked the SEC to take them and Clemson?
What? I don't understand. I don't understand what these schools are doing. Did they learn nothing? Have they learned nothing from Mizzou and A&M joining the SEC?
They're collecting a check.
I mean, that has to be it, right? It's money.
Yeah, I mean, you're getting, I guess, more revenue or more TV deal. But, I mean, to me, from a competing standpoint, and I can understand it, you could say, okay, Oklahoma and Texas leagues from football that greatly reduces there. I mean, Baylor's a solid football team generally. Oklahoma State's a top 25 team. Kansas blows. Kansas State blows. Nebraska's Nebraska.
Nebraska's in the Big Ten.
Oh, Nebraska's in the Big Ten. That's right. Who else is in the freaking Big 12?
Kansas
Missouri?
State, Kansas. No,
Already
Missouri's
named
in.
them. Yeah, Missouri moved. They used to be.
They used to be, yeah.
That's why in football, the next two teams I would go after would be UCF. Like if I'm the Big 12, that's the team I go after right now. I take UCF and SMU.
West Virginia's in the Big 12.
Oh, yeah, that's right. West Virginia's in the Big 12. Again, not a perennial top 25 football team. Now, basketball there is. Now, I think they lose themselves in basketball. I think the Big 12 is a better basketball conference.
I do too.
Than there, because you basically have Kentucky, Georgia, Auburn. Georgia's hasn't been that good. Auburn has been up and down. I mean, they were a solid team. Tennessee was a good, solid team.
Yeah,
Florida was good.
Alabama's not a perennial powerhouse. They have
they're solid. South Carolina's solid, but that's there versus you had Kansas, and Kansas State is a better there. All those teams end up getting ranked. Baylor won it all. There, Oklahoma State's generally a very solid team. Then you had your
Texas Tech.
Texas, yeah.
Texas Tech. Yeah. Yeah, they're definitely Big 12 is definitely a better.
You know what I thought? I thought essentially with the NIL deals and all these things that are coming, and I could see 10 or 15 years is just one conference. There's no reason for it to not be. That's it.
Well,
This is.
I don't remember. I'm pretty sure it was. The Ryan Day from Ohio State that said that they want the funds pooled. They want the NIL funds pooled and divvied out amongst the entire team.
Well, that's what Miami's doing. Different NIL deals that guys are signing, but they're divvying out to the team.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing that so everybody knows that you're going to get money by coming there. But like I said, you have to have the right guys, your leadership in doing that.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Bones Island.
He didn't travel in his preview video. That was good. Oh, we're almost done with the first round. I do love that people forget they actually do the second round. It's just a whole lot faster.
Right.
How's our Padres doing? Up 1. Oakland's still up 3. That's good.
I can't believe it's still only 3-0. I did like Oakland to win, but it's tough taking those team totals over 5.5.
Yeah.
It's a lot of runs.
What pick are we on? That's pick. Oh, okay, so we're at 27. This would be a guy where Dayron Sharp would make sense. Jared Butler. Tsume. Your favorite Miles McBride?
Deuce. Man, I love college basketball. It sucked when it was over. I think
Sucked it
I
was
think
over because
today.
we dominated it.
Oh man,
We that last
March
season
Madness
in the
was
tourney was
insane.
just a flat out domination.
Yeah, March Madness was insane. I made so much money, and then
Yep.
lost a good chunk of it on the first month of baseball, which I said I would not do.
Yep. And you waited a while too.
3 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
The Shamit deal to Phoenix, I didn't get. I mean, I understand why they did it, but it just, I don't know. I guess Phoenix thinks they're going to lose Cam Johnson. Spencer Dinwiddie is the guy I would like. It's going to be very interesting to see where he ends up. Chicago's a real possibility. I like Spencer Dinwiddie. I think he's a very, very good player.
Mm-hmm.
I do laugh that it's hilarious that like Woj, their ESPN insiders already reported what the pick is, and he does it by really atop the draft board is this player. Well, guess what? Atop the draft board every time is the right guy. Like it's like, well, Denver's listening to offers, but if they keep it, this is the guy they're taking, Bones Highland. But because like Woj has basically already said who they're going to pick, and then these pundits are still talking. You should take Joe Schmo, and I was like, well, Joe Schmo's not going to be taken here. I can guarantee it, because you're taking it, looking at it on behalf of that team. But unless that team trades out, but then you're not looking on behalf of that team anymore. It's like you should like kind of just reach down your phone and go, I really think they should take Bones Highland. That should be the guy I would take. He's athletic. He can score. That's the right move. Hey, look, it's Bones Highland.
Right.
Brooklyn is keeping its pick. They wanted to trade down, but since Cam Thomas is on the board, they are selecting Cam Thomas. Oh, wait, no, he's high on their draft board. You want to? I'll bet you $1,000 it's Cam Thomas. He's only been right for 26 picks.
Right.
I love how all these fair weather fans are suddenly Nets fans. I probably couldn't even tell you it was in the Nets 5 years ago. Probably they named their Nets this way: Kyrie Irving, KD, James Harden, Jason Kidd, Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce. That's probably how they named their 6 favorite Nets. Here's Adam Silver.
With the 27th pick in the 2021 NBA draft, the Brooklyn Nets select Cameron Thomas.
All right, you owe me $1,000. See, that's why like if the books allowed this like live, they would get.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
There's no way to keep all this a secret. Like in the NBA, in the NFL, you could still like pick guys, but basketball, no.
It was the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl was the only game that Bovada had live player props during the game for the NFL,
Yep.
and it was so fucking easy. I was just hitting the same things over and over and over. Like you're watching the game and you're like, you know what's going on. Like, you know the situation, you know what's going to happen. Like, it's so easy to cash with live player props. How does anybody lose money betting live player props?
They stopped going. I mean, we had times like that where we lost. I mean, we had plenty of times where we won. We had plenty of times where we doubled down after the first quarter. That's my favorite time to play. There was like, your guy's got 50 yards rushing prop. He runs for 20 in the first half, and they put it at like 60. And you're like, okay, well, he's going to be already featured. As long as they stay in the game, he's going to get his carries.
Right.
Like the kid Harris from the Patriots. I think every Sunday night game, we took Harris and just double down. They'd give him, oh, is he going to run for 65 yards? Well, he's run for 100 yards for 6 straight games. Yeah, he's going to run for 65 yards.
Yeah, I think one that I was hitting almost every week was Gus Edwards, because Gus Edwards was like, his number would be like 22 or something like that, and I mean he'd hit that almost. I rarely did he not hit that.
Yeah.
I mean, there were games where he had runs. He had runs, single runs for that cashed it.
I mean, you've got the fear of Lamar busting loose, so it's always like,
right. Yeah.
He's going to be on that rising team as far as these rookies that are going to be there. He is that good. He's going to go to Brooklyn. He can fill in that Jordan Clarkson type role as far as a guy who can get you points off the bench.
So San Diego finally ended the second inning in an hour. That game's going to take 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Oakland's at least in the fifth. Worst part, it's taking so long, it's only 1-0.
Yeah, look, this is an interesting question for Philadelphia. They have certainly been shopping Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is aware, and his agent, Rich Paul, have given their consent to this. But the question, Richard, is this really the time that you want to trade Ben Simmons? Because his value after those playoffs Reese just described is a lot lower than it is
Yeah, that's true.
when you get to the trade deadline.
You really want to trade him now?
Well, that's why they're telling teams by what they're asking for that, like, you probably had a bunch of teams sniffing around and saying, am I buying this on the low?
Yeah. And they were like, yeah, it's going to cost you this. And everybody's like,
no.
No. Here's a good one. LaDainian Tomlinson was drafted, retired, and has been a member of the Hall of Fame for 4 years, all while Tom Brady has been playing. That's crazy.
There's a guy in the Bucks. There's a guy in the Bucks that wasn't born.
He's been a member of the Hall of Fame for 4 years. That's 5 years after you retire before you can get inducted. So if he's been a member of the Hall of Fame for 4 years, that means he's been out of the league for 9. Which I guess that would be about right, because Brady was drafted in 2000. Yeah, 2000, I think. So Tomlinson probably played for, I don't know, 8 years, 9 years.
Yep.
Retired 2010, 5 years, 2015. Yeah, probably. Wow.
I mean,
they're going to continue to try to find a trade as we get into free agency here next week, and then into the summer. I think on both sides, Ben Simmons and his agent Rich Paul on the Sixers,
I do love the agents start to go work for deals. I actually think that hurts a team because the agent's going to go to the 5 teams that he wants to go to.
Right.
That shouldn't play into this at all. But that's basically tells you the process sucked. They drafted Nerlens Noel in the first round, busted. They drafted
How many guys did they? How many first
Markel.
round picks did?
They're taking
Yeah,
Jaden Springer. I'll bet you another $1,000 they take Jaden Springer.
How many? How many first round picks did that 76ers team have that they were either busts or they've been just injured, just straight up injured? I mean, even Embiid had a ton of injury issues.
So you look when the process started, okay? Most people don't even remember. The process started in 2014. You want to know the funny thing is? We went through like the 12 guys that what team are we looking at? The Magic? Who are we looking at? Wasn't the Magic? Who were we looking at? Oh, the Wizards. The Wizards.
Wizards, yeah.
That was like started from like 2014. The Sixers drafted like 25 guys.
Yeah.
We went through 12 guys in the Wizards. So
they were like, because they had like they would have like 2. It felt like they had like 2 first round picks almost every year.
Yeah. So when the process first started, we'll go from there. Okay. That's 2014. The process started. They drafted Joel Embiid and they drafted Elfrid Payton in the first round.
Okay.
Okay. Then they come back the next year. They drafted Jahlil Okafor.
Okafor. Yeah, okay. He's another one I was thinking of. Yeah, injured.
Then they had 5 second-round picks. They drafted Willie Herman Gomez, Rashawn Holmes, Arturas Gudaitis, who never played, J.P. Takato, who never played from North Carolina, and Luka Mitrovic.
Jesus.
So Holmes was a very good pick. Holmes is asking for $80 million this year. Then they come back in 2016. They drafted Ben Simmons, TLC, and Korkmaz.
TLC.
Timothy Luau-Cabarro, who's in Brooklyn. They call him TLC.
Oh,
he could score.
I don't know him.
He could score. Korkmaz is a solid player. I like Korkmaz.
Yeah, I know Korkmaz.
Then they come back in 2017, and I think they win the lottery because they draft Markelle Fultz. Jonah Bolden never lives up to his hype. Jawan Evans and Sterling Brown. I like Sterling Brown, though. He was traded good.
Oh.
What?
It's insane to listen to you name all these guys, half of whom I've never fucking heard of.
And then 2018, they draft Mikal Bridges, and then they trade him.
Trade him, yeah.
They draft Landry Shamet, and they trade him.
Trade him.
And then you took Kyrie, Thomas, Ray Spalding, and Costas Antetokounmpo. Then in 2019, they take Ty Jerome, trade him. Carson Edwards, trade him. Bruno Fernando, trade him. Admiral Schofield, I believe he was traded to the Wizards.
Yep.
Amaro Shayok. So they drafted 5 guys, and none of them are on their team. Then last year, I thought they did pretty decent taking Tyrese Maxey. Solid. Theo Maledon. He ends up in OKC, traded.
Yep.
Tyler Bay, no idea where he is. Isaiah Joe is still on the team. Paul Reed, no idea. So that's how well, I mean, of their first rounders that they picked, Embiid's on the team. Simmons is still on the team. And Maxi's on the team. So you have 3 out of the last 6 years.
Wow.
And then millions of second rounders who you apparently just gave everybody else in the league.
Yeah, I mean, you're naming off guys that are pretty solid players that are, traded. Carson Edwards is not bad. Theo Maledon's not bad. Who else was there? Alfred Payton.
Yep. Mikal Bridges was a solid pick.
Bridges, yeah.
Day'Ron Sharp.
Ty Jerome isn't bad. Bruno Fernando's not bad. I mean, there's a lot of talent there. It seems like they held on to the wrong guys.
Yeah. This is a smart move by the Nets, though, because they acquired the other first round for the Landry Shamet deal. And what they're doing is they're drafting their bench as first round guys because they took Cam Thomas. Now they're going to turn around and take Day'Ron Sharp. I don't know why they're showing the Suns because the Suns traded this pick already to the Nets.
51-21 last season, second best record in the NBA behind Devin Booker and company. Of course, value that got it done. Western Conference champion Suns after DeAndre Ayton dumped made their way into the NBA Finals, where it appeared for a while in this series that they were the stronger team. The Bucks turned it around 1-6.
What's the move on UFC this weekend? I'm sure. Oh, Dorado never answered. All right, we got one more pick to end this, and then we'll call it a night. I think we'll win our first fight. Well, I never say anything in baseball unless you're up by 10 runs. We're up by 1. I don't think that's a lock yet. How's Mexico doing, by the way? I haven't even looked. Oh, Mexico's up 1-0 at halftime.
With the 29th pick in the 2021 NBA Draft, the Phoenix Suns select Day'Ron Sharp from the University of North Carolina.
I like Day'Ron Sharp.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's a beast. He's just a big, athletic. See, they're still talking. The stupid announcers are talking like this is the Suns' pick. This has already been traded. Proposed finally. Yeah, but you can't sit there and tell me how great it's a great move for the Suns when he's not going to play for the Suns. It's a pretty good high school team. You have 4 guys drafted in the after 1 year of their freshman year in the NBA. Utah has traded the 30th pick overall. I mean, it's almost like the announcers don't even know what's going on. They at least had to put the proposed trade to so and so. Yeah, because
right.
you look like a moron sitting there saying, "Well, he's going to fit in real well with the Suns. He's never going to see one play with the Suns ever." So, other than that fitting in.
Are you against that? No. High school is when guys grow up together and in the same neighborhood and all that stuff. That's what guys on the same high school team. It makes it sound like they all grew up in the same area. And boy, this place produces a lot of great players. They come from all over. It's a terrific place, and they do a great job.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Nats are trading Kyle. Nats are trading Kyle Schwarber.
After 1 year?
Going to the Red Sox.
He looks like a Red Sox player, though.
He does. Man, Washington Nationals fire sale. There's no point in keeping Schwarber. I think he was only on a 1 year deal anyway.
Yeah, if it's only a 1 year deal, yeah, you jettison,
I mean,
get
shit,
something for it, move on. Yep.
He was in the minors. He was in the minors in like 2018 or 2019. He lost all that magic he had early.
Yeah, I told you, he's a guy who's a big swinger, but he misses a lot.
He does. But so do a lot of guys. That's kind of MLB now.
Yeah, but to me, that means you're not. There's nothing about you. You're a dime a dozen. I can go get 6 other guys who do the same thing and probably hit the same for the same power. So if I can get something for him and then still go ahead and free agency next year and get that version of that player, and that's what I do. Yep. Especially if it's on a 1 year deal. This is very interesting for Utah to come in here and spend money. Oh, that's right. Utah's trading, so they're saving money. All right, ready for a $1,000 bet in the last pick of the draft? It hasn't been announced. I'm going to give you 7 guys. You tell me who they take.
Who's the team?
Memphis.
Okay.
Oh, no, they already picked it. No, it's Indiana. They said Memphis, but they're putting Indiana.
Spain.
Yeah, but he played for Loyola last year. You want to guess what this guy is mocked at? Who the hell is this guy?
What was his name?
Aladama. I mean, he beat Woj. Every pick matters. I mean, yeah. I mean, this is going to go through really quick. 53rd. He was at Loyola. Loyola's down the street. It actually shares a campus with my wife's college, all girls college that she went to.
Santi Aldama. Huh. Interesting.
That's okay. That every year's teams that are like, okay, you shouldn't get a pick, or you should never be worried about trading your first round pick because some morons going to draft Santi Aldama.
Right.
See, I always look and I sit there and say, if I'm going to trade you to pick, do you ask the question, who are you drafting?
Well, it's none of your business.
No, well, it is, because if my idea is I'm going to trade down, I want to know at least on my pick that you're not drafting the guy I would like to get 4 picks later.
Well, then I would tell him I'm drafting Santi Aldama. and they'll be like, who? Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, that's not our guy. Don't worry.
He's a deep sleeper.
My favorite draft ever in the NFL is 1996. The Jets draft Jeff Lageman. It was the beginning, and Mel Kiper goes, "We should just take the Jets picks away. They don't know what the draft is for."
Oh,
and he goes, I don't even have tape on this guy. That was like before the
that's
days they
funny.
have tape on like 500 guys now. But it was like, it's like, I have nothing on this.
That's funny.
Oh. All right. Well, thanks for hanging out.
Yep.
We'll see. We'll see. Hopefully this Padres comes through. Did we give any live plays? I don't think we did. We had plenty of basketball stuff.
Yeah, I didn't give any live. I gave that A's team total.
Yeah, I got to include that. So the A's team total will probably push us over as long as the Padres finish this out. Not a good start. Colorado's got a guy on second, no outs. Heart of the lineup. Up 1 out, moved into third though. Damn it! Come on, need this.
Is it the fifth? No,
Fourth.
it's the fourth.
That's the heart of the order. This is the part that you worry about.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about Ryan Ruiz and David Nunez and Kevin Freeland.
I think
we need a strikeout.
I think we're getting to I think we might be getting to a time in the baseball season where we have to seriously start looking at probably just automatically eliminating teams that are not in playoff contention from getting any action, because
I did do that, but Kansas City Royals keep winning.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, there's been 3 teams. There's been 3 teams that have been super, super hot, and they're underdogs almost every day. And their bats have been hot, and they've been cashing. And that's the Orioles, the Tigers, and the Mariners. Orioles, Tigers, Mariners. Those are 3 teams that have been really, really hot.
Well,
And they've
KC
been-
is 8-1 in their last 9.
Yeah. Yeah, Casey's been hot too.
But that's what I'd say. The whole league's sometimes a joke. You just look and you say, okay, who's the best team in the American League? Well,
Yeah.
the Astros and Red Sox are tied with 63 wins.
Well, I mean, it's, we've said it 100 times. The best teams, the best teams in baseball are going to lose 1 out of every 3 games. And the worst teams are going to win 1 out of every 3.
Yep. We got our second out. Did we get a double play?
The Pirates have been bothersome. They've I don't know what it is. I think once we get past the trade deadline, then things will start to settle down a little bit. These guys that are on the bubble with teams, they think they might be getting moved. They're fucking getting nervous, and their minds elsewhere. They're not. I think.
Yeah, but that's what sometimes you get out of the trade deadline. But the issue is, as soon as you get to August, that's when teams start calling up the prospects.
Yep. Well, and then in September you get the expanded rosters. I think that was probably the biggest issue today, at least this afternoon, is just guys are just they're uneasy.
I took a shot on the Washington over just for the fact I thought Scherzer wasn't going to pitch.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised that he did pitch.
One guy said he's actually a pretty good sleeper player. He's like, yeah, but he's actually asleep.
Yeah.
All right, let's see if we can get out of this inning. We got 2 outs, 2 strikes. We did get another out, so that's good. It's Joe Musgrave versus Sam Dilliard, who apparently is batting 172 and starting in the mid.
the amount of guys that are starting in the MLB that are hitting in the hundreds is absolutely insane. It's almost 2 to 3 guys in every lineup that are batting in the 150 to 180 range that are starters.
Hilliard strikes out swinging. There we go. We get out of the fourth. All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining the show. Let's see if we cash this last one. We'll be up for a unit for the night. And then we've hit some long-term futures that we hit long-term on the NBA basketball. So other than that, I gave some things out. They're yet to happen. The Brazil women, I gave the Sweden, Great Britain double. Oh, great. I'm still getting more trades. That's the second round. Second round, no one keeps a pick. I mean, last year, 9 teams actually kept their pick in the second round. So,
well, I mean, if the talent was as bad as it was for the first round, I can't imagine anybody wants to pick in the second.
Well, Mostert is posturing. Mostert is like, all right, we got 6 guys we like. All right, we'll drop down 3 picks.
Right.
We will drop down 4 picks. We'll pick up a future second for another year, and we'll draft. Or you do have some teams like, I don't need any of these guys. I'll just punt to the next year. The other thing I gave is USA Basketball to cover the 20. I personally have taken France to cover the 28. But we'll see how that goes. So other than that, thanks for joining us. We may be on. Rich, are you and D going to come on Saturday?
I might not be home.
Okay. Yep. That's always the difficult thing. My wife was like, you realize that just locks me in on a Saturday night. I was like,
yeah, that's yeah, we had talked about the dates before. The weekends are tough.
Yep. So we'll see.
So,
maybe we're on, maybe we're not. I kind of enjoyed it because it was nice. I didn't have to type anything to talk MMA all night, so that was good. But if we are Jump Shot Shadow, we'd be on. So maybe I'll just be Jump Shot and D and I. So we'll see. All right. Talk to you guys later. Have a good night. Goodbye.